fucking do it. Don't crash. Don't crash. Am I live? I think I'm live. Yay, I am live. Okay. Cool. All right. So, I don't know what's up with my StreamYards or my OBS lately. Every time I go to start streaming, it crashes. Then I have to wait for it to come back on. And where am I getting sound from? There I am. Right? Okay. All right. All right, so I'm going to just exit that out because that's going to drain shit. Hi, yes, Al. Sorry, Al. I should get done getting, like, loaded and shit sooner, so I went ahead and started it. I figure I'm always late, so why not just throw y'all off and be early a little? Well, first I was late, then I'm early. I don't know. Something like that. Let me go back to OBS here. Okay, there's chat. All right, now I'm on live chat. Yay. All right, hey, Reagan. Hey, Stacy. I don't know if I've seen you in here before, but welcome. If you're still here, you're probably not. You probably got fed up with waiting. I don't blame you. Hey, Al. What's up? Bad stream. Yes, it was a bad stream when it wasn't streaming. You're right. Hey, Megan. Hi, Lily. Hey, Kara. Hey, Sue Elliott. Hey, Autistic Show. Oh, you're back to being Autistic Show. Hi, Autistic Show. Hi, Steffi. Hey, Brandon. What's up? All right, so I'm just going to briefly address something that happened over the past few days. And I wanted to just address a few, I don't know, shit talkers too along the way, maybe. Oh, hey. Hi, Stacy. I'll watch a lot, never comment. Okay, well, welcome nonetheless. Nonsense has gone live just to clear things up. Of course he did. Of course. I don't know. It's obvious, though, that someone may live rent-free in her head, and she fucking hates it because she can't even admit it. But it's funny. But I'm going to start this stream, though, by briefly addressing some fucked up shit that she was involved in over the past few days. And I'm going to come right out and say this right off the bat. I love Veda. I do. I think she's a little naive when it comes to things here on social media, the games people play, the trolling and stuff. I mean, she's learning quick. I mean, some of you guys are giving her a really good fucking lesson, really, like crash course lesson. So kudos to that, I guess. But she doesn't know yet to think of things, because she hasn't experienced them yet, and so I feel bad for her. I do. But she has a Facebook page, or group rather. It's mostly centered around this stuff here with Marvin Jackson and stuff. So she started this community chat, because over on Facebook, when you have a Facebook group, you can have a messenger chat with certain members of the group. You can have it so that it's by invite only, I guess. I don't know much about the community chats or whatever. I don't know. I don't have a group anymore, so. But, so she started one of these chats, and people, I mean, like, Letitia Bias was in there, Wynette Jackson was in there, among others, from her group. Well, someone had wormed their way into being a moderator for her group and took over, kicked Veda out, and took screenshots of this entire chat. Now, why I say that this is fucked up and why this pisses me off is because this wasn't, like, public posting, not even in a private Facebook group, because I mean, I don't care if the group's private or not, or secret or not. If you're posting it out there on the internet and social media, you gotta expect it to come out. In a private DM chat, though, I mean, you still have to kind of expect it to come out. I mean, don't ever say anything you wouldn't just come right out and say publicly, not even in DMs. But it's people will still just talk out loud in a private chat, not meaning a lot of things they say or whatever, just because they feel comfortable, doing that. Well, whoever it is that did this was obviously doing this for nonsense and uni. And they took over and they took screenshots of this entire chat, including things that Wynette had said, Letitia Bias had said, and whatnot. And I find that to be beyond bullying and harassment. I find that to be just downright fucking low. I mean, how badly do you want to try and get something on these people? I'm not talking about Veda, okay? She's a social media or content creator. She should know what to expect if she can handle herself. I'm talking about Wynette, and I'm talking about Letitia Bias, and anyone else from their family who might have been in this chat. I don't know. But how low do you have to be? Like, how desperate do you have to be to do this to people who, because any which way you put it, there's still people who are related to this man who lie in a coma. They weren't even respected enough to be told about his situation for weeks. And they're still upset. They're still grieving all of this. And you're so fucking butthurt over Veda showing receipts that prove that you're just a full of shit, mean, miserable bully, that you have to then go after their private DM messages and then put them on blast. I mean, what is wrong with you? Like, where's your damage at? Because it's one thing to spin a bullshit narrative. It's another thing to go that far, to invade someone's, I don't know, even if it's a virtual place, it's still a place where they felt safe to talk, and you made sure that they didn't have that anymore. Like, what the fuck, man? Like, we're not in the same league. We're fucking not. Like, not the same game. Nothing. Like, you are so far beneath me at this point. And make no mistake, you are beneath my fucking feet. Anyway. Moving on. I want to show some of the things that they've been talking about as a result of this. And it's annoying. Why is that still open? I closed that, I thought. Whatever. Okay, it's closed now. Oh, haha. Might be nice if I do that. I'm an idiot. All right, there we go. Now it's up. So, yes, so as of 15 hours ago, there was a post that was put up. Now, this happened a couple days ago. So now, of course, Nonsense has to rush to fucking social media and put all the screenshots on display like she did something good, right? Anyway, these are just a few screenshots from this family chat from February. 8 months later, and still talking about guardianship, but no action to file. Do you want them to file? Is that what you want? Do you want to see Andrea dragged into a courtroom battle, regardless of what her chances are winning or not? Do you really want to see that happen to her? Why are you pushing for this? I mean, that just shows you don't care about anyone involved, not even Marvin, because Marvin would never want to see this happen amongst his family, both families, especially not over him. But yeah, keep pushing for it though, because you're really showing what it is you want. You just want to see the drama. You need content, apparently. 8 months later, talking about wasting public resources after she has been cleared by all agencies. 8 months in, and they are still talking about situations from years ago. You just said on a stream recently that you wanted to introduce your viewers to these old ass like content creators you covered. Like these people aren't even relevant, but you want to talk about it. So you want to give other people shit for talking about stuff years ago. I mean, it's one thing to talk about things that are years old. It's another thing to have to pull from years ago so you can find something to brag about yourself with. Anyway. 8 months in, and not one of them has done anything to actually help Vaughn. 8 months in, and another advocate trying to help the family spin a new narrative, again, to cover up their wrongdoings. 8 months in, and I'm so disgusted in human beings, starting with you, I bet, huh? If we take what they have stated as fact, then on or around July 16th, an attorney drew up a legal binding agreement that was signed by LB and Dre. If Dre has broken that agreement by not allowing visitation, she has broken a legal binding agreement, and the attorney could take that to court, and then action could be taken against Dre. Hypothetically speaking, if things were as they claim. Sounds like you fucking know that they are. Why else would you be wasting your time talking about this shit, right? Yeah, now we know why you really fucking had to get into this chat here, because you were losing ground. Supposedly documents are sitting on an attorney desk. There would be attorney's desk. But we're not filed in fear of losing visitation. Well, if visits have been denied and that paperwork is paid for, why has it not been filed with the court? They can talk a lot, but their lack of action speaks volumes. You act like the whole process of going to court has been bought and paid for. Chances are the only thing that was bought and paid for is the write-up of those documents. There's still the filing fee for filing them. Then there's still any and all action that comes as a result of the filing. Yeah, and you made sure to take away any and all fundraising that they possibly had going for them, huh? You sure made sure to do that for Dre, didn't you? Or was it Katie? I can't be sure at this point. Now, what's funny, though, about these messages here I showed, or I looked at, like, most of these screenshots aren't even they're not even things. Oh, this one does have Why Not talking in it. Exactly, Kimberly, because he was African American and she was a Mexican or whatever. I don't care about any of that. Marvin Jr. deserves justice. He said on videos, that's enough proof. No worries, we will get justice. I put this on everything. I will not rest until justice is served. My stepson talked to me, and in codes, he said things like he was in danger. That's about all that's said in all of these screenshots. Like you see here, like this. I don't know who Kimberly is. I don't care who Kimberly is. No offense, Kimberly. But she's not part of the family. Why not? She's not Letitia. So why are you posting screenshots of what Kimberly's saying? It's weird, but whatever. Let's see, again. No, oh, Heather's in there. This one, okay, all right. Okay, here's one with Why Not. I will reach out to the FBI. Where's their number? I'm so lost and hurt. The Marines won't do anything because he was discharged. We were trying when we were in Tucson. Thanks, Miss Kimberly. My husband will reach out to the FBI this week. Well, if there's nothing going on, if there's nothing to come of this, I mean, she's free to contact any agency she wants, whatever she thinks she needs to do for her loved one. I mean, you can dislike it, you can disagree with it, but, whatever. And thanks, Kimberly. We will reach out for guardianship, but if his wife is in control, what can we do? True. No, we already read this one, right? Yep, I did. Everything, we're so hurt not knowing anything, and we drove across the country to be treated like crap by Dre. This too shall pass. I don't think many people can really disagree with that, right? What would you do if it were your child? Letitia didn't deserve all the mess she went through. She didn't. She is a mother at the end of the day. I have a 20-year-old son, and I will do anything possible to find out the truth if it was mine. No questions asked. Ms. Mayor, I truly understand how you feel. However, did you see the videos of my stepson saying he needed time to himself? Make it make sense. He talked to my husband and I and said he wanted to come to Georgia to see his family. Then 2 months later, he's in a coma? One thing I know is I have faith of a mustard, I don't know what that saying means, of a mustard seed, and the truth will be revealed. My husband and I was with Marvin Jr. for 2 weeks talking to him, and he responded. I will not say what I talked to him about, but he responded to me when I asked him certain questions. I didn't want to pull the race card, but he's a Marine and an African. Okay, that must have been the start of that other conversation. Oh, okay. It seems like there's just a lot of screenshots of the same comment over and over again. I don't know. Maybe to make it seem like that why not send more than she did in these screenshots? I don't know. It's kind of weird though. Oh, we already read all those. Those are repeats. I mean, did this like just start going from the beginning again? Because it seems weird. But it did say that there were 9 extra after that. I'm thinking that we went through them all. Okay, so exit out of there. All right, so this was posted, what, 15 hours ago? 15 hours ago, it's got 1 comment? Wow. Wow, there are enough words to accurately describe how vile these people are. Absolute pure evil mixed with ignorance. Does anyone know if Dre ever sees this or if any of her friends send this garbage to her? It would save her precious time and unneeded bullshit if she had this evidence to show anyone these demonic morons might call to attempt causing her trouble. I understand why she has gone out of her way to ignore these losers. I wouldn't want these loose brain cells arguing with a group of nobodies either, or soak in the negative energy they put out. However, I'm now of the opinion that if I were Dre, I would take all of the evidence that has been collected throughout this whole extremely unfortunate situation. I'd let them all know if they didn't stop that I'd be coming after them all, and if they didn't, I'd do just that. It's a clear-cut case. What's a case for what? What are you talking about? At some point, enough has to be enough before one of these nut jobs goes too far and something really bad happens. Like what? Like a lot of you, this has been bothering me beyond words. Sorry for such a long rant. I'm just so tired of seeing these vile dummies on a mission to keep harassing an undeserving mother and her children. They're grieving. You can disagree with it all you want. I don't know what to say. Oh, there's one more. Anyway. Okay. Wow, her taco post had more interaction than that one. That's funny. I thought there's one more. Maybe I'm wrong. Shit. Or maybe she took it down. Who knows? I think maybe she did. No. Here it is. My bad. Okay, so after all these months and the status of the situation, the family is still okay with doing stuff like this to entertain creators. I'm so disgusted. Well, you sure seemed entertained by it. Anyway, moving on. So, Beta's post there. I'm not going to read that. Because, again, I'm only focusing on the family because, like I said, myself, Beta, content creators, we kind of set ourselves up for bullshit. I don't really care. The family didn't, though. Let's see. Anything in here? Oh, Letitia's in here. Okay. No one is against Andrea. She's against me and my family. All we want to do is be by his side. I pray your child or children never have to go through this. God bless. Now, I can't see when the date of these messages is from. So, I don't know. I don't know how far back they went. Like in the other post, she claims that those messages were all from the month of February. I don't know. So, I'm not sure when these are from. I just found out yesterday I have another grandson on the way. Oh my God, congratulations. And I think God is doing everything possible. My heart doesn't hurt anymore, so people can say what they want. But I love my children and grandchildren with every single breath I take. I believe that. Thank you all so much. I'm so happy, but it really hurts that Marvan and Reza are not with us to enjoy the same happiness, but I'm never giving up. You're so right. So incomplete. My son said he's gonna name his son after Marvin. We're all hurting. Wow. Is that it? So that's it. Doing stuff like what the fuck was the family doing? What the? Oh my god. The comments though. Oh my god. The comments here. This one actually has some engagement. Anyone who has seen her lives, who Dre, I'm guessing, and thinks she wants bad for Vaughn is delusional. None of these people have seen him, helped him, bought vegan formula for him, paid for his hospital stay since he was booted from the VA. Nothing. So stop with the BS already. It's such a bad look. So only people who help pay for his care can what? Support Letitia? Is that what you're saying? I mean, it seems kind of gatekeepy. I don't know. And vegan formula? Let's get something clear right now, okay? The vegan formula is not for Marvin. It's not. It is for Dre. It is I don't know, maybe a weird status symbol or something to brag about. Okay, that's what it is. I'm sorry, because the nutrition that he would be given in lieu of that would be just as good, and possibly even better. I don't know. So to brag that you're spending $11,000 on vegan formula is nothing more, nothing less than a bragging right. Okay, it's not for Marvin. It's not, because if it were, then I don't know, me, and if I were in that place, anyways, that position, I would go with the standard nutrition for him that's just as good, and then I would put the money toward his care. That would be me, but I digress. And I'm not judging Dre or anything. I have no doubt that Dre thinks she's doing what's best for him. I'm not saying that, but it's not for Marvin. It's not. Nothing to stop the BS is such a bit. We can't let it go while you keep doing this crap. It makes us want bad for you. Doing what crap? They're talking in private in these chats, in these message threads. They're not doing anything to you, to anyone else. They're talking, messaging in private. So if you are looking for an excuse to keep talking for this, and you land upon your excuse being going into their private communications to see what they're saying and use that as an excuse, you know what I'm saying. It makes us want bad for you. So those involved in the chat, it's their fault that you want bad for them? They're to blame for you wanting bad for them. Huh? That sounds like an abuser's excuse. I don't know. And karma don't play. There's no such thing as karma. Don't get me wrong. Like, I truly do believe that what you put out into the world often can come back to you. So like if you put shit out, you can often get shit back. If you put nice things out, you can often get nice things back, but do not expect it. You are not entitled to it, because there is no such thing as karma. People do whatever the fuck they want. If you wish bad for someone who is doing good while also doing bad, it's really coming for you. Just saying that who's never mind. I digress. Soon, according to their logic, if the videos and screenshots, and more importantly, the police report is fake, why are you, Uni, without a crystal ball, and any other creator who shared these fake things not in jail? Are you shitting me? You gotta be kidding. You're not seriously asking that, are you? You can share whatever the fuck you want. Just because you share it? Okay, anyways. I'm pretty sure making up a fake police report is very illegal. Oh, I know why y'all aren't in a jail cell. Ready? Wait for it. Because it's not fake. Boom. No, it's a real complaint. It was submitted on the internet for real. on a real complaint form on the internet. It's not a police report. Also, the reason why nobody else would be in jail if it were a police report is because nobody else reported this to the police. All the people you mentioned here, they're just content creators. They didn't make this report to the police. Why the fuck would they be in trouble for it? The person who falsely reported shit to the police department would be in trouble for it. Not the content creators talking about it. I like, really? Holy shit, but I digress. I've said it so many times. Do these people, including Letitia, actually believe that if Vaughn woke up today, he would thank them for the so-called justice? His wife and his children, yes, all of them, because he has been raising those girls as well. I agree with that. Wholly, I agree with that. Have been attacked and their privacy violated. How's that Letitia's fault? It's not Letitia. Letitia didn't put them out on Facebook Lives or whatever. That would be their mother. And also, I don't think that Vaughn would thank anyone. I really don't. Just judging by the man I seen in those videos. I mean, there weren't many of them, for granted, but I mean, he would be upset to see anyone in his family being distraught. They would stand for his wife as well as his mother. For you to just assume he would rule out half of his family and prioritize only the other half is you trying to weaponize him for your own personal hatred. I mean, you're not seriously considering that the man we seen in the videos would just write off half of his family and be like, tough shit, you deserve it. Like, no, not that man we saw in the video. That man would not do that. So, he's not an asshole. Miss Letitia, what you have done over these past months would have just solidified Vaughn's original thought, which was to stay away from you. He would be hurt and disgusted by what you have had a hand in doing. I'm sure of it. Well, I'm sure you're wrong. And why are they still on Katie Joy? She was out of the game back in July and even said stop asking her to cover it because she won't. Well, probably people are still on Katie Joy because Katie still has her hand very much involved in this shit. And, well, she started the whole fucking thing. She started all of this bullshit. She did. She fell for the BS at first, but it was for a few days. And then she knew Letitia and the rest of it was BS. So she said, I made a mistake and I will not speak on this again. No, what she said was, well, she didn't say it, but her actions did, was that she's pissed off as hell and everyone around who made her mad, they're going to pay for it. That's what she said. Right, and they act like they have never run with incorrect information. I mean, they had folks thinking this lady was poisoning her kids and stuff. No, wait, who thought that? They had folks? Pretty sure there was Katie. Oh, and Nonsense too. My bad. Nonsense would jumped right in on that shit too. But won't admit that none of what they are. In fact, the shit where Nonsense jumped right in on it, now that's still up. Just go back, go look through the page. Here, go look through this page. It's all right there. So, I mean, I kind of wonder, how much can someone really regret the spread of false information if they allow it to remain up and continue to be spread falsely? I mean, in her videos, Katie's videos are still up on this. Well, I mean, they probably pulled up a lot to pull clips from, and she makes AdSense every time that happens, right? So I think that we know why those are still up. They act like they've never run with the incorrect information. I mean, they had folks think, oh, I read that. But won't admit that none of what they're raising is valid because Vaughn's bio mom has no legal rights to be doing what they're asking people to help her accomplish. Yes, she does. She has every right to go see her son. That's all she was asking people to help her accomplish, was to be able to see her son. No attorney took that at face value once the legal tie was broken. She had an attorney, though, right? Legal tie. Oh my God. Legal tie was broken when he became a fucking adult. We must have stupid stamped across our foreheads. Well, you might. You fucking might. Maybe next time don't use a bedazzle for it. I do understand Katie makes mistakes and reports on things that are false or proven false after. And people get annoyed with that. But hey, she seems to admit it. Even when she allegedly admitted it over this, she didn't admit it. She threw the blame elsewhere. But whatever, I digress. One questions. Letitia, why didn't you go back to visit Marvin after you told Dre in text message that you were going back? All of a sudden, you are pushing this again. Is the heat of investigation getting too much? Yeah. Dude, she's in Antarctica. That's how much fucking heat of an investigation there is on her. Come on now. But, I think she's not exactly planning to go back at this time because of you all and your shit. That's what you've done for Marvin. Congratulations. Is this chick for real? Seriously, is she really serious? Yeah. Quit stalking me, you psycho. Yeah. How desperate do you really have to be to break into someone's group to steal their private group chats for content? Grow up. I don't own the group. Oh, I thought they said same word. I don't own the group I admin for. Oh, I thought it was your group. Okay, my mistake. Also, here is your first and only tag like you try to lie and tell everyone. No one believes your fraud ass. Dre reposted the video of bond savings. Oh, she reposted the video last week of the... That's nice. I'm sure her husband would appreciate that too. See, that's what kills me. Like, as much as I could ever possibly dislike my loved one's family, their family, I would respect my loved one enough to not want to see harm come to their family. I don't get it. Letitia, Molly Golightly, and a few others are the only ones that have gained money. I'm sorry, but taking money out of false pretenses is a crime. Ain't nothing false, first of all. Secondly, did you see where you were? At least some of us only making money off the truth and not making up an entire false narrative. Some of you, the narrative that you claim or you are blaming other people for running with is the exact narrative that you and Katie made up. Some of us just now monetized after months and months of speaking up on the truth. Huge difference. No, I think you've been working at this for years, okay? Just only on YouTube for a few months. But boy, you should put out a lot of fucking content on this false narrative of yours. Congratulations. Congratulations. Is Veda a bathroom girl? Veda, if you're hearing me by any chance, check your DMs. Or check your messenger. What is this tomfoolery? The fuck? Who says tomfoolery? Who types tomfoolery? Okay. What? What? The best part is Letitia herself that she has a grandson coming. So it's Dre, right? No, it's her daughter. What are you talking about? Dre. You and this family are so close with and know them all. Dre being pregnant unless she was an elephant. If she was, it would not be Letitia's grandson. Talk about more. Who said that it was Dre? I mean, Letitia's excited about a grandchild coming. If Dre were having her grandchild, I don't think Letitia would be too excited about that because I think Letitia would expect the chances of her seeing the new grandchild to be about the same as seeing the one that's here now. You know? What are you talking about? Oh my God. Okay, I'm about done with this. I'm going to move on. She endured 8 months, but Dre had it much worse. I don't think either one of them has it worse. I think they have it different. But I'm guessing this person doesn't have any kids for them to say that. Okay, all right, I'm done. I'm moving on from here. So, hey, Misty Gate. Hey, Mrs. Bullfrog. Hey, Greenworm79. Hey, Running Grey Wolf. Hey, Tiffany. Hey, Benton Mama. Hey, Dad Hi Guy. Hey, Sloan Ranger. Hey, Pit Mom. That is a cool name. We got a new pet. Hey, Two Skulls, One Swing. Hey, Suzanne. Hey, Hillbilly Vagabond. Oh, okay. All right, now it's beginning. All right. I hope everyone is warm and not because you're shoveling snow. Well, we're not shoveling snow. We haven't gotten any snow, at least not recently. So, yay. Unirock said that the stolen money paid for half of Molly's closet. He obviously doesn't know how much Christian shoes cost. Oh, God. I'm surprised he doesn't because he probably wears them at night. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. That was kind of an asshole joke. I take that back. These people bring it out of me. It's my fault. It's not theirs. But it's just a little harder to contain my assholeness. That's all. What was I going to say? I forgot. Yeah, the money... See, if... It's true that, like, Molly and Justin at times did get pay or super chats or whatever, or even PayPals, I think. And then the person who sent it would make a comment on the chat or whatever saying, hey, this is for Letitia. Well, when that happened, if you watch the streams, Molly then took the money right then and there out of her own money and sent it directly at that moment to Letitia. So then the money that was collected, you know, through her YouTube payment, naturally she kept because she already paid it out. Other than that, the money she made, well, that's not even money she made. And I don't even know if she took the 30 whatever % off of what she sent Letitia. Because when you get super chats, YouTube, I don't know what it is now, but it used to be 30% YouTube took from it. So if you got $1 in super chat, YouTube took 30 cents. So you got 70 cents. So I don't even know if, in that example, if Molly sent Letitia the whole dollar or just the 70 cents. I'm not sure. It could be either. But whatever. So that's not money she made. Other than that, there's AdSense and then the super chats and everything that went to her because people wanted to just give to the stream. The ones who wanted it to go to Letitia specified that. Everyone else wanted it to go to the stream, like they do in any other stream she does. And I'm sorry that people think that as a content creator, you shouldn't get paid for your efforts. You know, that's cool, I guess, but there's a reason why people get paid for it because they have every right to. You can sit there and say, oh, you're exploiting this and that, but, you know, we all, you can say that about everyone then. Because we all talk about things that will either make us sound more interesting or just make people want to hear us, whether it's in a private group setting or on fucking YouTube or in a post on Twitter or whatever. This is what we all do. We all talk about things that we or others find interesting. And sometimes you're paid for that monetarily. Other times you gain in other ways. I mean, it's human nature to talk about things that are interesting or things that people care about. So, I don't know. I just feel like the people who say that you shouldn't make money off of these stories or whatever they themselves are really exploiting the situation by trying to use that as some sort of weapon against someone that they don't want to see make money. I don't get it. But the same goes for Katie. Her talking about the Duggars and everything, she has every right to make money from that. If people are watching, yeah, she has every right to benefit from that. I just find it funny when she then turns around and goes after other people for making money. Or like that one guy's, she was saying, oh, you're making money off of your wife's book or something, off of your wife or some shit like that. Well, when she wants to hold that against other people, then I would think the rest of us should assume that the money that she makes from that content, she's planning on donating, right? Otherwise, they would make her a hypocrite. So. And that's the thing too, like, I get it, people don't like Molly, I get it, people don't like Justin, I get it, people don't, I believe me, I really get that people don't like Katie, and I get that people don't like me, and that's fine. I'm not everyone's cup of tea, I'm not striving to be either, and I never will, so, it's cool, and you can, if you find inconsistencies, you have every right to bring them to light. Sure, go for it. Do whatever you want. But it's when people want to just drive up all of this hate against others because they have some sort of personal issue with them or something they did or something they said, or they want to hold them to these purity tests and then act like no one else should be watching or supporting that content creator because they once, at one time, let me down. Like, your cause ain't my cause. Like, what are you doing? And can't this be just like real life where you like people and you don't like people, but you just sit back and keep your mouth shut while everyone goes about coexisting? Why can't you two be like that? And then when there's issues in real life, when people go too far or break laws or guidelines or whatever, sure, then you have every right to report that to the governing agencies. Same thing with YouTube. When you think something was broken as far as TOS goes, then report it to YouTube. Otherwise, live and let live. I don't know what to say. Bitch about things, bring things to light, whatever. But when you try to run people off a platform, either through the platform's creators and rulers or through the users, like, I don't know, you might have some damage within yourself that you might want to get checked. I don't know what to say. Yep. That's all it is. Nonsense was on Marvon's side until she wasn't. All because of her hate for Molly. Exactly. I've never been a hater on that level. I don't care who profits because you're always going to have a community who wants to hear what people say, plus they like the personality. Exactly. People always, anyone, no matter how big or small they are on a platform, there will always be people who like them and always be people who don't like them. It may be more all out of balance with some than others, but there's always going to be people who like them. So, YouTube is going up to 65%. What do you mean? You mean 35%? And then the 65 goes to the creator? Like, oops, my oldest son, his father's family, like, I've always gotten along with him or whatever, but like, right after my son was born, like, he had I don't even remember what it was about, but he had a fight with his family, and he was very upset with his family for whatever reason, probably bullshit reason, but and he started refusing to bring our son over there, and I thought, that's so fucked up. So I went behind his back and I brought my son over there to visit with his grandparents for a while until shit, passed by or whatever. Like, just, that's what you do. It's not about you. It's about the kids. It's about the family. It's about them. It's about, it's, I don't know. I can't imagine keeping, and if they were like dangerous people, if they were like drug addicts, if they were like running with gangs or something, maybe I could see their point, the parents' point or whatever, the mother's point, but yeah, this is just stupid. All right. I said I was going to move on. I'm going to move on. So, moving on. I kind of wonder if maybe a lot of this shit, or not a lot of it, if I kind of wonder why at times things happen the way they do or whatever. But I think about what I was talking about before nonsense became the focal point for a lot of creators here, as recently, anyways. And I think it was much of what I was talking about was it was Katie, and I think the whole like Tatty Westbrook lawsuit situation with Natalie Kennett and all of that, because like just a few months ago, that's what I was on. So I wanted to get back to that today. And one thing and I say this oftentimes, that one thing I find to be a very useful tool in trying to understand things or figure things out is hindsight. So now that some time has passed and we have the gift of hindsight, I wanted to just check out a couple streams from time ago, whatever. There's I know that there's more than three where this was discussed, but there's 3 streams that I could think of and I could easily find where Katie is discussing her stalkers. She goes back and forth between one and several. I don't know. So I wanted to revisit these. So first one. Oh, thanks, Dash Access. Puppy and I are well. Puppy's asleep in the other room. I will bring her out to say goodbye before we end. Or if she comes out here, I'll grab her. I'll wipe her up. All right, so. What is this? Oh, I forgot.
Hey guys, it's Katie.
Sorry.
I
forgot I pulled that up. Pause.
I hope you're having a good day.
And it's going to play again. Oh no, it paused. I know as soon as I change tabs, it's going to play again. Anyway, so no particular order, I don't think, but... Actually, no, we'll go ahead and play that one. Yeah, okay, we'll play that one. So, I want YouTube. Oh, also too, I have StreamYard open. It's not connected or anything, but I'm gonna drop the link to that. So if anyone wants to come on, I'm able to I think have someone up on panel through StreamYards. So, oh shit, okay. Damn it. So to show you what I mean, I'm muted. Okay, good. See, where'd it go? Why didn't it come up? What the fuck? All right. Oh, did I hide it? No, I didn't hide it. Anyways, I can do it. Whatever. Window capture. Okay, yeah, there we go. So yeah, see, you can see that I can do it. So that's all. I just wanted to show that. So I don't know, I'll do that soon maybe. There, see? I'll add you to the StreamYard screen there, and then I'll stay on my own here in OBS, and I'll stream the StreamYard through OBS, I guess. I don't know how else to do it without using StreamYards, and I don't want to use StreamYards because I really feel like StreamYards is also why I keep buffering a lot, because their streaming, I don't know, bit rate maybe sucks. OBS I think is better. So, for a puppy cam. Thank you, Greenworm79. Thank you so much for a puppy cam. Oh my God, yes. I one thing I'm loving about bringing her on stream and everything, just even if it's just for a second, so that maybe at some point in the future I can look back and we can see the progression of her growth. I'm kind of curious how long it'll be before I can no longer hold her, on my lap for the camera. I think that's definitely going to be before summer, anyways. Maybe even before the end of spring. But yeah. All right, moving on. Oh wait, I have to go back to the YouTube one. There we go. Oh. Okay. Damn, now you message me back. Where the hell is... There it is. All right.
So it's not my place to talk for you.
Oh yeah, that's right.
I respect you in that.
I want to play part of that one too in a little bit. Okay. Let me check chat real quick. And I saw I had a message. Let me check that real quick. Oh, okay. All right. Oh, awesome. So I'm not going to say much about it now because first of all, it's not my news to give or whatever. But it looks like someone's going to join me and Veda with this nonsense. Yay. All right, I'm happy. Not today, but I mean, we're going to be working, I think, together a little bit. So maybe even a lot. I hope a lot. But that's for another time. Right now, we're on this shit with Katie. So here we go. This is from, I can't remember when this was from, when it was from. It's from 2021, I know. This is right when the lawsuit with Tatty Westbrook was settled. This was, I think, her announcement video of the settlement. And she went in to talk about this bullshit, too.
This is not a normal video, and I realize it's going to be a little bit convoluted, and I'm probably not going to be able to answer every question that people have, but there's been a lot that's been going on in the community related to me, and it just feels like it would be completely ridiculous for me to ignore this, but I also need to respect the fact that we are now in a position where there are multiple agencies, including lawyers and police and the FBI investigating. And so I obviously can't share everything, but I did want to just tell people my side of the story, or really just what I've learned. So everyone knows that I went through a lawsuit, and it was actually it's now settled, thank goodness.
Thank you, Fly on Your Wall, 1977.
There was a lot of misinformation that was going around at that time. There was a lot of just really wild accusations, and there was just a lot of people that were trying to insert themselves. And
I just want to say, too, you're going to see a lot of, from what I remember, you're going to see a lot of jumps in this because she apparently had to edit a lot. Like, she had, like, there's you could tell it was a pre-agreed upon written statement regarding the settlement, the lawsuit, and she couldn't even get through that without heavy editing.
Into the suit, which created a lot of chaos and it created a lot of undue stress for me. I was always confident that the lawsuit would settle, or we would be able to, come to a resolution. I never believed that it would go all the way, and thankfully we did settle, and honestly, I have been so happy about that. I think everyone involved was so glad to be able to put this aside. There truly is, when I say this, absolutely no hard feelings between me and the other parties, and it's been healing for me to have that part and that chapter closed. But there's this lingering aspect that has been stuck and it has really tarnished my reputation, and it's made me feel like I don't have a voice on this platform, and it's made me feel like no matter what I say or do, people say that I'm an evil, terrible person. And it's hard because for months people have been making really big accusations against me, and no matter what I say and do, it's like I've been gaslit. Like, people don't believe that actually this happened. So
Nope.
to help you understand what happened, and I don't want to have to bring all the receipts. I think there's enough videos out there that you might be able to find something on YouTube. But there was a woman named Natalie that,
mind you, these receipts and everything she's talking about, she's the claim still to this day, the claim is that there was an FBI investigation going on all throughout this, but yet somehow Katie was free to talk about all the details, the specifics of it, and even show the evidence, because the FBI was just like, yeah, go for it, we don't care about really investigating this, by all means, here you go, fuck it all up for us, because that's what they're known for, right?
basically,
And let me just say too, I'm sorry, I'm going to interrupt a lot probably. Back when I did my FOIA request on myself with the FBI, so there was all this talk about how the investigation, the FBI investigation, they were suspecting me, myself, Steve, Tina, Dottie Morgan, you know, and I was like, okay, well, I'm just going to FOIA request myself. I might do a FOIA request on myself with the FBI. You can do this on yourself or on a relative who's since passed away or has been dead for so many years. I forget what the rules are there. But anyways, and it's part of the Freedom of Information Act as well as the Privacy Act that you're able to do this. I've done it on myself several times while advocating for vaccines, because anti-vaxxers would always make the claim of, I'm reporting you to the FBI for cyber stalking or some shit like that because you disagreed with them. So when I got annoyed with it, so I learned how to do it, and I just, every 6 months or so, I was doing these requests on myself. I haven't done one since this last request, though. I probably should. So I did a FOIA request, and I asked for pretty much any and all documentation or whatever of my name being mentioned in any of their files, anywhere. And now, for granted, if you're being investigated in an active investigation, sure, they're not going to come on and just say, hey, yes, this is what we suspect of you. This is what we've done. You know what I mean? They're not going to do that. I get that. But they will then say that they're unable to fulfill the request or whatever for such and such reason. They may not give that exact reason, but the reason they're not going to give you is because such files do not exist. That's what they're not going to give you. So when you get a response saying, we cannot fulfill your request because the files you asked for do not exist, that means they don't exist. That's it. So I just want to point that out. And I did mine. I did it on me there. What the fuck was it? I think it was 2021. Maybe the summer or fall of 2000. I think fall of 2021. And I couldn't believe how pissed off and the reaction I got from people because I did this on myself, because I proved that I am not in any FBI files in any investigation. My name is not in there. So you're full of shit. And people got so mad. Like, I got a response from people I barely even knew who I didn't even know were really talking about this. Like, people were pissed about this. Like, I blew up some sort of fucking, I don't know. They seemed oddly invested in my FOIA request on myself, that is, you know? And I kind of think I might know why, because it was just all bullshit. And that kind of started to expose the bullshit, maybe. I don't know. My opinion.
She inserted herself into the lawsuit, and she alleged that I was hacking her and sending threats and doing all of these different things. And she also was alleging that we had this like years-long relationship, and we were she was claiming things about my marriage that just were like not true, like that my husband was not a good dad and that he was doing things to my son. And we had CPS at our house multiple times.
Hey, Justice for All.
So the first time CPS came to our house, it was in, I think, the fall, and it was after a channel named T-Spiracy put out a video. In the video, she had amplified the sound of a live stream I had done on Instagram. And during my live stream, my son was upstairs and I was downstairs, and he was sleeping. He was trying to go to sleep. And my husband had had a really long day. He had been...
This is interesting. We're gonna revisit this for a second. Immediately after this happened, and everyone's like, because one thing is for sure, you hear, or I'll let this play.
Upstairs in our bedroom for hours with our dog because I was really stressed out that day during the lawsuit. I had a lot of really tough, like stressed out days where I felt like I was going to lose it, and he was just trying to keep the dog away from me so that I could work. And after being with the dog all day, trying to keep her happy, and then having my son struggling to go to bed, my son, who happens to have autism, had a little bit of a meltdown, and he told his daddy to get away from him, and he's a kid.
Right after this, she dropped the whole dog thing. The whole dog excuse. Ever since then, it's been, shit, I keep making a mess. My son, people are, someone made a video off of my son's meltdown or whatever, it's not being supportive of someone with autism and shit like that. This is where she's been ever since. The whole, excuse of, my husband sat in a bedroom for 10 hours to keep the dog away from me. They got a huge fucking house. They have a whole backyard, right? Why does Katie commandeer the whole rest of the house and the outside and put them, her husband and her dog, in a room for 10 fucking hours? That, I don't know what's more asshole. The fact that we're all to believe that she forced them and stuck them there in a room for 10 hours, Todd and the dog, or that Todd was in the room with their son for 10 hours. I'm not sure which one's more asshole. Neither one really bodes well for her. I'll just say that much.
Right? So they amplified it to make it sound like he said that he punched my son, which didn't happen. I will just say that my son, a lot of times when he's upset, just says, "Don't touch me." And I think he gets that from me, to be honest. I hate to be touched when I'm angry. And he does not like to be touched when he's angry. And we have never, ever, ever used anything with our hands. No belts, no objects, nothing. He has never been spanked, nothing. So it was very jarring to me that a simple moment of my son having a little bit of a meltdown would turn into this video, which proceeded to get people very riled up about my husband. And shortly thereafter, we started getting calls to CPS. So CPS showed up at our house in the fall after this video went out. And they referenced why they were there. They said that they had seen a video on YouTube that had sounds that made it sound like my husband was doing something to my son, which we now know is the video that T-Spiracy put on her channel, which she still will not, to this day, remove. They came, they interviewed us, they interviewed my son's nurses, and everything turned out to be false. They said it was unfounded. They said there was no evidence of anything, and they basically just closed it. We told them that I was a public figure, and they noted that, and they said, as long as you're doing what you're doing, don't worry about it. Well, everything will be fine. So then I had a really tough time, and there was one night where I said I was feeling like I might end my life, and that night someone did show up, and the cops did come. But the cops came besides that. So I'm not going to fault someone for contacting the police if they feel like I'm not safe.
That's a first.
But there was
she
cops
went off
that
on them
showed up here again a couple months ago, and it was snowing, and it was two deputies, and they said, we received a 7-page report from Hennepin County. I don't live in Hennepin County, so whoever contacted, they went to the wrong county. The city I live in is in between two counties. And so they said, Hennepin County received this, it was sent to us, and we just have to follow up. And this report included that you and your husband are doing things to your son. They accused me of having Munchausen's by proxy, and they said that my husband had, again, using the same video, claiming that my husband had punched my son. Obviously, having spoken to them, I again explained to them what was going on. They knew at this time that I was a public figure, and so they said, okay, yeah, we figured as much. We had to come out. We'll just close this out. They said CPS might have to come out. We're not sure, but if we can just tell them that everything's fine. They looked at my son. Nothing was amiss. It was over, okay? I'm not going to share, the reports.
I'm going to say this much. There is... What was it? Shit, I don't even remember. It was after the whole Gabby Petito story. Sometime after that, she had given a total of 3 dates where she had alleged that the deputies, the sheriffs, were at her house because of reports made over the internet. And so I wanted to know if she was telling the truth. And this way, one of the times she was saying that the sheriff showed up there because someone had reported to the FBI that she was hiding Brian Petito. Or not Petito, Brian Laundrie in her basement. So, yeah, I thought that can't be it. That can't be. So I requested, I did a FOIA request on I didn't ask for her address or whatever. I asked for the 911 calls for those 3 dates in her city. And I had to do one of the requests to that county there she mentioned, as well as the county she lives in. So I got the results back for all 3 dates. And they were, in fact, there. There were, in fact, sheriffs at her house on all 3 of those dates. And it does appear to be the online reports. However, something weird with the one about Brian Landry in her basement. See, here's the thing. On her video, she says they were sitting home. His doorbell rings. It's the sheriff saying, hey, we got a call that you have Brian Landry in your basement. Like, that's all she said. She's totally using that story or whatever. She's using that story as the reason why they were there at her house. But that's not what the call logs show. The call logs show that they were getting reports, some online reports and something about noise or something like that. And that the sheriffs, the deputies, were already at the house when that call came from Colorado. I think it was one of the FBI offices in Colorado, she said. When Colorado FBI called their department and when dispatch got the call, when dispatch got that call, when it was written down in the call, in the call logs there were already deputies at her house. Now, maybe they were there because of online reports, which is bullshit. Absolutely. But why doesn't she say that? Why does she put the entire blame for them being at her house on this national news story about the tragedy of young Gabby Petito being murdered? Why is she using that as the entire reason as to why she had sheriffs there? You know, like, I don't know. I just thought, well, it's a really shit thing to do, you know? It seems kind of exploitative.
Simply because, like, one, I don't want to put that information out there for my son, and I don't want to put that information out there for my husband, but it did happen. And anyways, so after that happened, the lawsuit settled. So things calmed down a lot. Like, a lot of the information just sort of calmed down. But at the height of everything, when this Natalie person entered,
I'm sorry.
Suddenly we started...
So I'm looking at the comics. Dirty Uncle Sal says, they got calls about a possible domestic situation because she and Toad could be heard yelling at each other, allegedly. Didn't someone show up in her lives, one of her live streams, when she was telling people about how they just had the sheriff's there over, you know, Brian Landry or whatever. Someone in her comment section claimed to be her neighbor and said, that's not what we heard. Whether or not it's true, I don't know. You know, who the fuck knows? But it just seems kind of elaborate for it to not be true, in my opinion.
Receiving all of these threats. So on a daily basis, I was receiving anywhere from 20 to 30 horrific threats. So the threats were coming from what it seemed to be a spoofing email. So I learned a lot in this process. So basically what was happening was they were using a website that allows people to fake emails. And so I learned how to actually run headers of emails, which I had never learned how to do before this. And I was able to track that they were using a VPN, meaning they were trying to cover their IP address. So it was really difficult. And they were always using like one in another country. And the spoofing email that they were using was an account that was in...
That's not... What is she talking about? VPN? Oh, wait, no, okay, I know she was... No, yeah, that's right. There were some that came through Gmail. Okay.
Like based in the Czech Republic. And when you Google it, it basically says mail faker. They were using these mail fakers, and whoever was sending them knew everything about what was going on in my life. They were watching every video. They were talking about everything that was happening to me publicly. They were making accusations. They were trying to extort me. They were...
She's only like months behind everyone already knowing this and talking about it. I mean, whatever.
Threatening my son's life. They were threatening my life. They were threatening my husband's life. They were attempting to say if I didn't do things, they would release information. And when I wouldn't respond, then they would put out these screenshots on Twitter that were obviously doctored, obviously false. And I just sat there and tried not to respond to it because I felt like not responding to it would make these people go away. And it just didn't stop. And she
felt like not responding would make them. That's why she was able to refrain herself from responding, because she felt like it was the right thing to do. Oh my God. It's like, I know that when I first heard these things, it was bullshit, but it's like, the hindsight gift, just, I don't know, maybe it's called hindsight because you look back on things and realize what a fucking ass you were because you bought the bullshit. I don't know.
As a lawsuit was going on, people started covering this and really taking these claims, because then the girl ended up filing a declaration, which I can't say for sure, like, yay or nay, like, she might have believed this happened, but the woman that filed...
What is she talking about? No. She filed a declaration and then all this shit happened. I mean, for a lot of people, that's when they first even heard her name, was because of this declaration or whatever.
This also has very severe mental health issues. She just has impairments that make her more vulnerable. And so it became apparent that maybe someone was manipulating her to believe that these things were going on. But this person was adamant that she had a relationship with me, even though she didn't. I didn't know her. I didn't have any conversations with her. I don't talk with people really off of like DMs. And I certainly really don't talk to my subscribers, just because I've been stalked for such a long time. In the middle of all of that, there was a Facebook group that was run by someone named Tina, who has been doing this to me for over 2 years.
Mind you, Tina had archived the group in January 2021. This, I'm not sure when exactly this one was in 2021, but I believe that they settled right around the end of May, beginning of June 2021, because it just so happens to coincide with at the same time that all that shit went down with Creepshow art. I don't know why that always stuck out to me, but it did. But so this video was done sometime after the beginning of June 2021. So, and she's still talking about this fucking Facebook group that had been archived for at least 6 months now at this point.
There was a Reddit called like it's an anti Without a Crystal Ball, but it looks like Without a Crystal Ball, so I think it sometimes confuses people. And then there was these parody accounts that were popping up on Twitter that were apparently spreading, the truth about me. And what they were doing was effectively moving from creator to creator and gaslighting them about me, lying about me, and making them believe I was doing things that I wasn't doing. And so they were accusing me of doxing, of stalking, of harassing people, of sending threats, like basically everything that was happening to me in my messages, with CPS at my house, with police coming here, like literally being doxed, they were accusing me of doing to other people.
Oh my God. She uses that reverse Uno technique or whatever, like all the time. But every time I've heard her use this, well, not every time but once, because one time it didn't have to do with her. But every time I've heard her use this, pretty much, it's been bullshit. Like, I almost wonder if this is something that she's heard about herself, that she's heard that other people have said to her, listen, when you start talking to me, I just reverse Uno whatever you're saying because you're such a fucking narcissist that I have to. And so now I think she uses that.
Oh, and I allegedly, just wasn't doing that. I was trying to just stay focused, stay on course. And, a lot of videos were made about me. People say, like, you don't get a redemption arc, or you're just a piece of shit person. I've heard that so much. Like, you are such a piece of shit. You are such a terrible person. Everyone in this community hates you. And it's hard because people don't like me. That's fine.
That is self-deprecation right there. Tell me it's not. Think about it. Think about you when your inner dialogue, okay? When you are feeling insecure or unsure of yourself, or you did something and you think you really fucked up or something, or you're so mad at yourself for doing something so stupid or whatever. What do? You these are the things you say to yourself in your head, like, oh my God, everyone's gonna hate you. Oh my God, you're such an idiot. Oh my God, how could you do that? You're so fucking, like, these are things your inner dialogue at that time. You don't, if you're talking to someone else that you're truly upset with, that's not what you say to them. You say things like, you're such an asshole. Like, I can't believe you did that. Or you're such a scumbag or whatever. Or everyone's going to see you for who, you know what I mean? You don't use the self-deprecation kind of verbiage that, I don't know. I just feel like these are things she was saying to herself, and she's reverse Unoing. Instead of her saying them to herself, she's hearing them. Maybe. I don't know.
But it's when they're not learning, when they're like thinking things that I'm doing as factual, and they think that this is what I'm doing, and I know I'm not doing it, and no matter what I say, no one believes me. It put me in a situation where even when I would try to share my story, I couldn't, because no one believed me. Probably the creator that was the harshest on me was Creepshow Art. And she was working with a lot of these people. So basically, there was.
See, here we go. This had to been right after, or not too long after the whole all that shit with Creepshow Art played out, because for quite some time she really jumped on that bandwagon, and she really tried to scapegoat Creepshow Art as being not just the evidence or the person behind all the bullshit she had allegedly she perceived herself as dealing with, but as at least as someone that represented it in some way, if that makes sense.
There was a Facebook group, there was a Reddit, and then there was these parody accounts all working together in conjunction, and then there was these hate channels that were popping up on YouTube, all filtering and putting out the same kind of content, blasting everything that I did and said, and making it seem like I was this terrible person. So Creepshow Art, whose channel was very large at the time, she got upset with me because I called her out about something, and I can't even remember why, to be honest.
Upset
I
like
never
2
liked
years
Shannon.
prior.
I thought she was very fake. Someone had told me to reach out to her. That's how I found out about her. And so I sent her an email to see if she might be able to help me with the situation, kind of what I'm talking about right now. And she never responded, so I kind of just let it go. And I never really watched her channel, but I, because she's quite a bit.
She called her out on social media. In fact, here, you know what? Let me grab that. Actually, I'll grab it off my iPad and I'll put it in the chat. But I'm gonna link something in the chat. It's a video. It's a Twitter read video, just reading the tweets between her and Creepshow Art, where all of that started. Exactly what happened, what played out. And it's Katie's tweets, it's Creepshow's tweets, it's the whole thing. I'm going to link that momentarily.
Younger than me, and the kind of content she covers just isn't what I've ever really been interested in. So wasn't I would say a huge fan. I would shout her out sometimes because I just felt like, as a YouTube creator, you should shout people out. You should try to support other creators, that kind of thing. But she put out this video about me where she basically accused me of calling this little girl a brat, saying that I took out a restraining order for no reason, saying that I didn't have sources. She had there was a lot in that video that just wasn't accurate, and it was painted in a way that just was so grossly misrepresented to what happened that it was so wild, because within that time frame, once she put that video out, suddenly all of these other people copied it. And so it was all these other people like Repzilla and T Mimi and The Viewer's Voice, Dustin, everyone starts this narrative of I'm a stalker, I'm a doxer, I'm this or that. And I don't want to I don't want to put this out on the channels that mimicked her, because I feel like the ownership should go to Shannon, because Shannon's the one that used these troll groups, and then the other people just sort of emulated what she said, and then we're also following court records, assuming what court records were honest, but they weren't. So this whole narrative that I was the doxer, the stalker, the harasser, and that I was sending threats is all false. And it's false because I know it's false, but it's also false because I received an email on Saturday from the person that was claiming I was doing all of these things, basically admitting that it never happened. Now, I'll share the email only because I put it out publicly on my Instagram, but I'm not going to share everything that I have. I'm also going to share some other things that we've learned along the way. There's so many players in here, and I don't want to publicly name people, because at this point we still don't know how many people are involved. But right now we do know it's a group of people. We know that it encompassed people that were in groups on Facebook, on Reddit, on Twitter, and we know that we also know that some of these players that are involved in this are now coming forward to help us, which I want to thank these people so much. I'm angry, I'm hurt, I'm having a very hard time controlling that, because my child has been at the center of this, and humongous false allegations have been made against my husband, which is horrific to me because he's such a good father, you guys. He is the best husband, and to see people disparage him. And
she was so horrified by these false allegations at the time that she didn't even bother to tell her husband about them until she was on a live stream and he overheard her, basically. Yeah, that's how horrible they were, that they didn't even require his immediate attention.
Say he's a white supremacist, or he's this, or he's that, or he's hurting my son, or he's hurting me. It's just so far-fetched. It's not true, and it's never been true about him. So there's this whole world called the anti-KJ community, and that's what kind of bred and fostered all of this, which was started in 2019 with the main group being this Facebook group, which was run by a woman named Tina. So her name has come up in this. I don't know how involved she is in this, but she's not the main player. Today I'm just going to talk about a couple people. So Natalie is the one that a lot of you have heard about, Natalie Kennett. She's the one that claimed we were friends. She was the one that said that
now,
my husband had done all of these things. She was the one that had said
all
that she
Natalie
filed a police report or a CPS report. So how it all happened was about a week ago, before she even confessed to this, a week before that, I guess, let me back up. A week before she confessed to me what happened, I got a message from someone that had been in that community. Her name was Sassy. And she said, listen, I've been so going gung-ho against you, and I had no idea. I thought that everything that people said about you was true. And then I just got a message today from Natalie, and she's asking for videos of your son, and she wants raw footage. And she says that she's reported you to the police. And I think you need to know this. And I said, oh my God, okay. So that part, I put it out publicly. So I received a message from Sassy, and then basically I sort of like cropped it out because I wanted to protect like the person that had done it. And what they had said to Sassy was this, and this is Nat speaking, okay? I know Katie and Todd personally. I've been speaking to Katie since the end of 2018. I have evidence to prove this. She's been in group chats with my friends and on video with us too. I know a lot about her and things that have happened behind the scenes, and that's why I'm helping the police with their investigation. She said, but I stand by my actions because I'm deeply concerned about, and have been for a long time. Katie promised me that she was reporting Todd and did a complete U-turn. I've written and recorded evidence of my own, but the police have asked if they have unedited raw footage of videos they themselves have watched online. A case takes time to investigate and needs a lot of evidence. That's why I've reached out to people. I do not and will not give up names of people who've given me information or videos they've captured. I take full responsibility of my actions are done in good faith. So she was basically reaching out to Sassy, asking Sassy for videos of my son because she claimed that my husband was doing things and that I had a friendship with her and admitted this to her, which isn't true. I didn't know her. I've never met her. And that was kind of that. And I, for a long time was just trying to ignore this stuff because I literally did not know this woman. I was like, I don't know where she's coming up with this. Like, I have never met this woman. I don't know her from Adam. So once Sassy started giving us information, a couple days later, I was really feeling stressed out. And I said, Natalie Kennett, leave me alone. We are not friends. We have never been friends. I didn't video chat you. You weren't given details about my life. You were inserting yourself into life to cause drama. Leave me alone. Stop your lies. You have fabricated a whole...
So I'm reading the chat here, and Java Man says, anti-Katie group, I call us the resistance. And I think it goes back longer than 2019, the last 10 years, I think. I don't know about 10 years. I haven't been around that long. I've known Katie since, I think, 2018. But yeah, almost right. Meeting her almost makes you resist her like it's a physical reaction. So resistance, I think, is a good name. But I don't know. I feel like it's not just a resistance to Katie. I feel like it's a resistance to bullshit. And she's such bullshit that it feels like it's a resistance to Katie. Allegedly, my opinion, whatever.
Fantasy in your mind about me. It's disturbing, it's scary, and you scare me. Since you inserted yourself into my business, my life has been flipped upside down. Someone else to harass and leave me alone.
Maybe 16 months, but
and then I shared
friendship.
Screenshots of her basically talking to Sassy, which I'll put up for you to see. And she's talking about like having this relationship with me, and she's doing this from an account, speaking to Sassy about me, and basically they're talking about how they need to protect my son. Once everything sort of went up about it, and people started giving her backlash, she then sort of canceled and cut out all of her accounts on her like Twitter and on her Instagram. And then some people in the community realized, whoa, she's like really gone too far. And they started talking and...
Sorry. Remember for 60 months, Lord Terrell. It may be 60 months, but it's 6-year friendship. Yes, it is. It sure is. Autistic Chill. Hi. Thank you for all you do, for your support, for your help, everything.
And doing some deductive reasoning, I guess, and another name came out of the picture that I had never heard before with a person by the name of Little Miss Noble, whose name is Katie. This person then went on Kate Baxter's channel
I want to
and
add too,
admitted...
while we're revisiting shit. Little Miss Noble, I know like a lot of people were like, where'd she come from? She hasn't been a part of the community for long, yada yada. I found her in some live stream chats like before the lawsuit was ever even filed by Tatty. It was back in the summer of 2020. I seen her in some live stream chats. Well, I didn't then, but upon looking back on this, I have since then though. But I do find this kind of odd, maybe. Like, there were some things about her that stood out to me. Like, anyone can make themselves an IMDb page and fill it with whatever nonsense they want. But most people don't do that, and they don't think to do that. So the people who have an IMDb page generally do because what they put on there is real. She had one because she had been in this video or something before, which, we've all been, not we've all, All right, I might have outed myself there. But many of us have been in a friend's video or something before, whether it's in school or God knows what else. But it happens. So, given that, but like none of us think to make an IMDb page about it, because why? But she did, so I kind of wonder why that is. I don't know, that just stood out to me. But I'm getting off track. She and I had spoken in Facebook Messenger back when this was really had unfolded. Like we started talking probably right around the time this video here was made. So just today I was going back. I was looking for a different chat thread of mine in Messenger, and I came across one that just said Facebook user. Like, I'm like, who is that? I wonder. So I opened it up, and so she no longer has any kind of Facebook account under her name. In fact, the account she had, she didn't just change the name or change the URL and the name. No, she just deleted it. I don't even know if she has a new one. I don't know. I don't know. It seems weird. I don't know. There's a whole lot there that haven't given much thought to. Just, I know things just stick out to me. That's all.
To helping Nat with all of this stuff, and it's a very long live stream. I'll put Kay's video down in the down here if you want to watch it. She admitted to doing a lot of things to me. She admitted that Nat had done a lot of things to me. She was trying to place a lot of blame on Natalie, and it was just very eye-opening because the things that they were accusing me of were just things that have been said about me for such a long time. I was like, how is this even physically possible? Like, how does this keep going? Because a lot of the rumors she was talking about were things that had been started in the group that's run by Tina and someone else that was a founding member of that group. Her name is Kim Fulmer, and you might know Kim Fulmer. She was someone that filed a declaration in the lawsuit that was not relevant to me, and she was claiming things about another person that again was not relevant to me. Kim actually used to be
Wait a minute, I thought Kim was unveiling or something, the veil, or I forget what it was. She was a page or a channel, and I thought that her declaration had nothing to do with Katie so much. It wasn't. She gave a declaration more so in support of Tatty, just saying that Kim was a resident of the state of Washington because that's where they were trying to set up the arena for the lawsuit to be heard. And so because Kim was a Washington resident, she then gave a declaration that she lived there, and that upon watching Katie, the things Katie said about Tatty's products convinced Kim to not then buy any of Tatty's products. That was what the whole declaration was about, I thought. So, I mean,
former moderator of me, and she does not like me. She used to have a channel called Unveiling the Masks. She published some false screenshots of me years ago claiming that I'd said things that I did not say, and she and Tina, I believe, have still been ramping up their attacks against me, and they are still very, I believe, active in all of this, but I don't know how active they are with this specific case, so I don't want to blame them for that. But they have inserted themselves into my life to inflict as much damage as possible. Tina has doxed my house. She has shared photos of my home. And in general, I've just always wanted them to leave me alone, and they just don't. And it seems like this group now, with the help of maybe Miss Noble and Nat, have fostered an even more diabolical plan, and which includes filing at least 4 CPS reports against me, calling the cops on me, filing a fraud report, I believe, against my husband for unemployment insurance or unemployment.
Now, let me ask you something
and
here.
Also filing a fictitious...
All these things she's listing that have been done to her, okay? I don't think I've ever heard about any kind of situation that involved any kind of stalker or someone obsessed or whatever, obsessed fan or whatever. They went to these crazy lengths and extremes to just effectively do nothing to their target. I mean, but they were so ineffective with their efforts that nothing happened to Katie. But they were so effective in the way they went about it that allegedly the FBI had no idea who was behind it for the better part of a year. I don't know. It seems like an awful lot of power is put into the 3 letters or FBI and used as a weapon to come at people. But it seems like their FBI just isn't capable of doing anything, you know?
Review that was negative against Michael Saltz, and also falsely reporting Michael Saltz to the bar in California. So they've been reporting me constantly. I was able to verify with the police yesterday that they have been reporting me and that there are at least 3 or 4 CPS reports that have been filed. So it's actually happening, and I just didn't know who was doing it. And all of the reports are false, just so you know. So then everything was coming up with steam, and quickly Natalie then sent me an email where she basically said that she was realizing that this was all a lie. So last Saturday, she sent this email that said, "I'm writing to you to apologize, and I'm adding Michael Saltz to this message so that you can read. Up until a few days ago, I fully believed that I had a long-term relationship with you and that I had videoed with you often, spoke often, and I fully believed that you were close, that Clark Swanson has threatened me, and that Michael Brown had done some things that I don't wish to go into. I fully believed I had conversations with you, that you had liked and commented on my posts, the screenshot I shared. I fully believed they were genuine, and I was speaking to you. My mother witnessed abuse also. She, however, did not know that you and your son's name. I told her the information. I was not until a few days ago that my mental health breakdown, that the truth became clear. The person I witnessed doing those things to her son, along with my mother, was a different person, and she too lives in the U.S. At some point, I've been triggered and living an alternate life that was not real. I felt real, and I spoke about you often because I genuinely felt like the person I had spoken to often was you. I've accepted and learned this, and I'm not mentally well. I've accepted I need more help and will be seeking this. My mother did a video a few days ago. She witnessed that, but of another person. She did not see your face. I told her it was you and told her your son's name also. That's my fault. Once my mom saw your face today, we had a long chat. And
so I'm looking for something here so I can better get the time frame for this video. So I'm going back and I'm looking through these videos of Katie's, and I just want to point out here, just for those who are interested, that these are the Dre videos she still has up on her YouTube. Dre McRae's ex-husband files motion for temporary orders from 7/20. Dre McRae's friend shares video proof to clear her name, 7/20. We have Dre McRae calls the FBI over YouTube reporting, lawyers, whatever, from 7/12. And it looks like that's it. It looks like the rest of them she did take down. But they're still up on her Facebook, a lot of them. Her Facebook lives are still up there. Anyway, okay, that's all.
A heart-to-heart, if you will, and I now know the person I was confused with. I'm so sorry. I've spent a few days unsure of how to approach this, but I've never one to shy away from owning my actions, behavior, or mistakes. Just because I am autistic and have 7 mental health disorders, it is not a free pass. I fully expect that you'll want to press charges against me, both of you. I fully expect the sheriff will too. I take full responsibility and accept the consequences of my actions. So then she denied sending the threats and everything else. So she also then copied a email that she had sent to the sheriff or to the detective here in where I live, retracting her claims. So that I posted. And she sent me 2 more emails, adamant that she did not send the threats, even though there had been so many of them. Well, I started getting more information after Kay Baxter's video where this person named Katie basically admitted to helping Nat file the police report, file the CPS report, and screenshots were shared.
I'm going to play part of one of Kay Baxter's
what the CPS report was. The allegations were so terrible. And other channel, Amanda Pants, put out all of her screenshots about this. She doesn't like me. I'm not going to link the video, but there you go. So I started receiving a bunch of DMs from people, and I just want to share a few. These are only a few that I'd like to share, and then everything else I'm just going to save because there is going to likely be prosecution here. And again, all of these are allegations, and again,
it's funny.
I don't know who all the players are. But apparently there was somebody that was helping her, Katie, and it was a guy named Dustin. So apparently this guy Dustin was doing all the tech stuff. So he might have been the one that was doing the emails, using the spoofer, or maybe attempting to hack into us. It's clear that, at least through the conversations I've seen, that Katie was threatening Nat to do things that she wanted her to do. She says, "Natalie, I'm serious. If this conversation goes to the FBI, it will make your life a living hell. She has to screenshot quick her video recording stopped. Have you scared? Yep, have her scared because she knows she fucked up." So, trying to keep Natalie into doing what she said, trying to keep Natalie submissive, trying to keep Natalie afraid. She also shared something that says, "Look at this. Thank you for making my job easier. I think he was planning on making Nat look like the hackers. I feel bad because me and Dottie gave Nat the go-ahead to post the screenshots. I have a strange feeling that this is definitely Saltz and that he's been the hacker." So she's spent a lot of time trying to frame Saltz or me for hacking. And she said, okay, another time she said, okay, quick question to the both of you. I'm sick, but I have the website for the fraud place. Dustin, if you can give Nat, Dustin, if I give you Nat, you do the website. Can you both do it? I'm also send you the screenshots of all the stuff we wrote about before, but this needs to be done soon. And then Dustin responds, what if it's again a long day again? So my mind's a bit scrambled and submitting those tag origin IP of who submits it. So they're talking about IP addresses and like where they're going to submit it from and what IP they're going to use. And then she's sharing a link to the unemployment insurance fraud for my husband. So they're basically talking about how they need to file all these reports against me. And this was on June 16th.
Let me find this,
and
then
I
I'm
just
going
spoke to
to
Gary
pull up
from
the other
tax
video.
fraud. Let's just say that they are definitely looking into KJ and Todd, and they might need me to resubmit the report, but I gave everything, so we are good if we need to. By the way, good morning, everyone. That is definitely me. Good morning, ladies. Good morning. That's like Dustin. They started talking about
I'm going to skip through these because it is largely believed that the whole thing was just complete and total bullshit, that all of this, she goes on to allege that Natalie, well, not right at this time, but later on in one of the other videos, she goes on to allege that Natalie actually performed all parts of this, like these conversations. I am of the belief that they probably were, probably done by one person, but it just, whatever. Anyways, something different. But like, there's something here at the end.
Yelling at other creators. My biggest regret is getting frustrated and feeling like I've been, my biggest regret is yelling at other creators. They've interfered with people that I've recently collaborated with, like Preacher Boy. They said that I sent him threats, that I was trying to blackmail him. It wasn't true. They interfered with...
Yeah, okay, so Preacher Boy showed these messages that he received from, obviously a troll. But this was long after Katie had already revealed herself to be who exactly she is. And Preacher Boy had been contacted by people saying, listen, you obviously do whatever you want, but you might want to look into her before you actually work with her. She's known for this X, Y, and Z or whatever. So he did. He did his own research, and he discovered the same thing that everyone else discovers when they're looking at Katie. Stay the fuck away. It's just, no, she's crazy. And so because the possible collaboration had been something discussed and revealed publicly, that conversation happened publicly on one of Katie's streams, he then felt the need to publicly come out and say, upon, look and reflection, whatever, we will not be collaborating. No disrespect, just we will not be collaborating. Katie lost her shit, did several live streams and said that it was all because he was a part of this religious cult and he was a misogynist and he was guilty of R-ing his sisters and whatnot. I'm not even exaggerating. That's what she said. It's crazy. So that's why that collaboration didn't happen. It's not because other people interfered. No, it's because Katie was Katie.
My relationship when I collaborated with Sherelle. They have caused issues with me and another creator named Leslie. They have any time, basically anyone tries to work with me, these people destroy it. And I just want them to stop. They have no right to harm me through this meticulous targeted harassment, and it has ramped up.
No, see, that's where you're wrong. Everyone has every right to give their opinion on you and then to share things that support their opinion. Everyone has that right.
To a point that no one has stood up for me, no one wants anything to do with me, and if I'm not on my channel, on my little island, all I hear is, Katie, we hate you. Have I made
Where else have I heard that island talk before? Fuck.
mistakes? Yes. Have I had to change things on how I do my channel? Yes. But that does not warrant at all what they are doing to me.
Sure it does.
I'm not perfect. People say, well, don't you get stories wrong? Yes, and I correct them. People say, well, don't you get mad and lash out? Yes. My biggest regret in all of this is the lashing out. My biggest regret is yelling at other creators. My biggest regret is getting frustrated and feeling like I've been put into a corner and I can't scream. I just have wanted to be heard and no one would listen to me. My biggest regret is thinking that everyone is a troll because I literally can't trust anyone. I actually found this quote today, and I think this would sum up perfectly how I have been feeling the last 7 months. If you're stalked, you might fear of what the stalker will do.
Okay, now mind you, this thing she's about to read, she's alleging that she was stalked by someone in the UK. Okay, someone who talked with people who don't like Katie and allegedly shared things or their opinions or screenshots of things, whatever. This is where she feels, why she feels what she's about to read applies to her.
feel vulnerable, unsafe, and not know who to trust, feel anxious, irritable, impatient, and on edge, feel depressed, hopeless, overwhelmed, tearful, and angry, feel stressed, including having trouble concentrating, sleeping, and remembering things, having eating problems such as appetite loss, forgetting to eat, or overeating. I've been overeating. Having flashbacks, disturbing thoughts, feelings, or memories every day. Feeling confused, frustrated, or isolated because people don't understand why you're afraid. That sums up everything. The biggest is feeling isolated, feeling like I have no friends, feeling like every time I try to make a relationship with any creator, they say I'm a terrible person. Everyone's saying I'm weird. I'm doing all these different things. Like, I'm not a bad person. Am I a different person? Yes, but I swear to God, I'm not a bad person. And I'm so just, all I want is to, like, this to stop, right? And this has been going on for months. And I need to share my truth.
Okay, so I found this on her thing. It's from, I can't read it though. It's from, is it 629? Yeah, 629 from July 29, 2021. That's when this video was up. And now, though, she has a different title. Now it's, I'm being stalked. They reported my husband to CPS and manipulated. I don't know, whatever. So it's similar to what she has now, but not quite. I couldn't find the Brian Landry one, though. Huh? Okay, so yeah, there's that. Let me, now, this is where she was on 6/29/21. Okay, now I want to show live stream from Kay Baxter's channel. This was from, I think it was 6, or was it July? Actually, I can find that out. Maybe my info here. Wait a minute. Oh, wait. Part 2 of Kay Baxter's interview with Nat. Wait, no, that's not hers. Did she take it down? I'll be crazy surprised if she took it down. I hope she didn't take it down, because I think a lot of people still reference it, if for nothing else, to find out exactly that Katie's full of shit. Alright, so I'm on her channel now. Alright, let me scroll through. Oh, cool. She doesn't have that many live streams up. So I'm looking for one with a bunch of views. Right? Is the one with 8,000 views? No, wait a minute. Yeah. So this was from, I think... It's got to be this one. From July 17th. Yep. So this stream here is from July 17, 2021. So this is just a couple of weeks after the video we were just watching. The video we were just watching was from June 29th. This is from 6/29. This is now 7/17. And I'm not going to go through the whole thing. What do I want to do? How do I want to do this? All right, I'll just let it play for now.
Like, I get that you hate me, but I respect you enough
That's
to
Natalie
not
talking.
say a word when I'm told not to.
So, do you want to name who she named, Katie?
Today?
Yeah.
Oh, God. So I saw the screenshot of the actual account she spoke to. It was the real account of the person. She had them blocked, and it was Steve McRae.
There you go.
It was not a fake screenshot. It was his real account. We verified it was his real account.
Okay, now I want to stop there, because I showed exactly how she verified this, because I have on the PDF file of the emails between her and Natalie at the time, and depicting their verification. Their verification consisted of Natalie saying, "Oh yeah, Steve messaged me. Oh yeah, from, like, can I see the messages? Do you still have them? Oh, no, I everything's been deleted or whatever, yada, yada. Oh, well, what did he say? Well, he said X, Y, and Z. He's not a very nice person. I didn't even know you had a restraining order against him before or whatever. If I had known this, I can't believe I didn't know this, whatever. He's not nice. He's not nice at all. He's not nice. What did he say? Well, he's not nice. Well, can you prove to me that it was his account? Well, I can pull up his account. Took a screenshot of his account on Instagram. Sent it to Katie. Katie goes, yep, that's his account. That's his account, all right. I shit you not. That was what happened. Nat said Steve messaged her. She didn't have the messages anymore. So there's no way you could pull up the message and then hit the profile picture and have it go right to someone's profile to prove that it's them. Nope, that wasn't there anymore. Natalie said that Steve messaged her. Natalie then said that, oh no, what he said was, well, he's just not nice. I can't tell you. I'm not going to say what he said. He's just not very nice. Oh, yeah, sure, I can prove that it's his profile. Here, let me pull up his profile and take a screenshot of it, and then I'll send it to you. That's what it was. This was done through email, too, nonetheless, mind you, okay? It wasn't done, like, through video chat or anything. This is why Katie feels like she can say the things she's going to say here. Because Natalie can apparently pull up a profile on Instagram and take a screenshot of it. That's why.
She was lied to by them when they found out that he was threatening her. It's my belief that they got nervous that she would say something, and they made her think she wasn't talking to him, but it was really his account.
That's what I was afraid of.
Oh, that's what it was.
See, and people told me I was nuts. So it's allegedly Steve.
Yeah.
Allegedly.
I mean, I've known this the whole time. And I think, like, people don't realize, like, it's hard because a lot of people have opinions about me, and a lot of people have really vile opinions about me because of what he's done and the lies that he has spewed about me and this cult of women he's preyed on. I feel really bad for the women that he's done this to in a way, because a lot of them are just, they're in a vulnerable place in their lives. Some of them have, like, they're struggling in something.
She feels so bad for these alleged victims of Steve's, because now she's now going to out them for being drug addicts and just low places or whatever. Like, I feel so bad, though.
Hey, Pickle, you can mute your mic when you have to cough, Lovey.
Oh, that's common sense. I'm not sure if I'm capable of such things.
A lot of the people just assume that, like, it's just a lot of the women that got involved, they were fed lies and they hated me because of something else. Like, I blocked them, or I, whatever. A lot of it's I blocked them, or I, didn't like their rude comment and I snapped back or something,
She's alleging that this entire elaborate stalking campaign was concocted by people that were mad because she blocked them.
I want to ask Nat a question just really quick, and I think, Katie, this will be an important question for you to hear the answer to as well.
Okay.
Nat, can you hear me?
Yeah.
So a couple weeks ago.
Turn my camera
Yeah.
off, then I don't my phone up. Okay.
A couple weeks ago, not getting into the details of what happened between Katie and Preacher Boy, because that's moot. We don't care about that stuff right now. But I know that there was an email sent to Preacher Boy that was supposedly from you. Can you confirm that that was not from you?
What email?
The email that was sent to Preacher Boy from an account presenting themselves as
mind
you.
Natalie would always eventually take responsibility for everything she was accused of. Usually it was like she put herself out there. She waited to see what the current thought was at the time or whatever. And then she's like, yep, that's it. That's exactly what happened. And then the following week, someone would be like, no, I bet so-and-so's behind it. She'd be like, yep, that's it. That's exactly what happened. That's how things went. So it's almost like the people who were thinking out loud publicly, and posting everything, were giving her ideas for her narrative. That's what it was like.
I sent one to Katie, sorry. Hang on a sec.
Yeah, she emailed him.
Okay, so we are confirming that she did send that email.
Yeah, she did. I don't know if it was an email or a DM. I think it was an Instagram.
No, I didn't send an email.
Yeah, I think it was.
I sent Instagram messages. You've got all of them. I gave them to you.
It was an
Oh, I
Instagram.
gave them to you.
Yeah, I just wanted there to be clarity with that, so that we all knew what the truth of that situation was. Nobody can accuse Katie of lying anymore about, because the truth has come up.
I didn't send him an email. The only
You
email
sent him a
I sent
DM
I sent
on
him-
Instagram.
Yeah.
Okay.
There were DMs on Instagram. He sent me one first. We had a conversation.
Okay.
I've got the messages. Obviously, Salty's got them.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, we don't need to know. We don't need to hear them or anything like that. I think we've all kind of seen them. I just wanted clarity on that.
Yeah.
Wait, what?
That
I've got the messages. Obviously, Salty's got them.
okay, perfect. Yeah, we don't. Okay,
Yeah, I didn't send him an email. The only
you
email
sent him a DM
I sent
on Instagram.
Yeah.
Okay.
There were DMs on Instagram. He sent me one first. We had a conversation.
Okay.
I've got the messages. Obviously, Salty's got them.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, we.
Did she just say that she's got the messages? Did I oh my, see, this is what I mean by hindsight. It's been how long? And I completely missed this. Is that what she said? Because she says in the email that she doesn't. So, in fact, this stream here happened after, like the next day, after Katie and Nat had corresponded in those emails. So
We don't need to know. We don't need to hear them or anything like that. I think we've all kind of seen them. I just wanted clarity on that.
we haven't seen them at all. What are you talking about?
Ira said if that's proven to be true, then Steve, I think she's referring to, violated the court order agreement that you had. Can you ask Katie that?
I can't speak to specifics about any of that, to be honest. And at this point, we're exploring all legal options. I can't disclose a lot because I don't want to lay out my cards, you know?
Yeah.
There's a lot going on behind the scenes that nobody knows about, so it's hard. I see a lot of chatter online, and I can't say a lot of, like, you see me talking about stuff, and I'm really frustrated and irritated that people keep saying that I'm unhinged because I'm tweeting. Twitter is like the worst platform because honestly, you only have 240 characters, and I have a lot to say, and there's a lot of people that are doing stuff.
It's hard
And
to
so I
spread
think it's
bullshit
really
with only
disingenuous
240
after
characters.
so much abuse that I've been put through with having police reports, fraud reports, CPS at my house. My husband reported to unemployment fraud, me tax fraud, having the police here 4 times, 4 CPS reports, continued threats daily for anyone to call me unhinged. I'm feeling like I can finally use my voice.
That's where I heard the island
and
talk
share
before.
what
You're
I
right.
know,
Thank
and
you,
somehow that
Dirty
makes me
Uncle
unhinged,
Sam.
and I just think that's just an ugly narrative.
Well, that's a common thing to do to women.
Yeah.
Right? It is. And I've watched people do it to Iris once. And I said, you know, all they want is to be heard. And if you feel like you're not being heard, then you're going to repeat it over and over.
Well, and it's not even that. It's just people don't know how much I know, like, because I don't talk about it. Like, I have purposely been very clear about not talking about certain people because this person has been so awful to me for 2+ years, making my life hell, that I don't want to talk about that person.
Now, you notice how we're just a couple weeks after her video there. Now, all the blame falls on Steve. In fact, she's up on panel. Natalie is the girl she was talking about in the last video. She's up on panel right now with Natalie, supporting Natalie. She's got Natalie's back so people don't hate too much on Natalie. And instead, she's trying to direct all of that. It's Steve. It's all Steve. Everything was Steve's fault for this live stream. Just keep that in mind.
Yeah.
And can I just say, like, my interaction with him was bad. Like, I told Kate today that I'm kind of worried for her, and I'm worried for her safety, and I reported it straight away. Like, police here already know. They knew in February.
Yeah, and I think that's a good part about speaking out, though, because people like that are smart enough to know once people have spoken out, should something happen, you know?
Like, what
sometimes speaking out makes you safer.
What he's done is he's created an echo chamber of people that believe lies about me that aren't true. And he's basically convinced people I'm a narcissistic, like, danger to society. He's literally like the one person that pushed that my son was abused, that he wasn't sick, that I had Munchausen's by proxy. He's the one in his little group, like.
Oh wait a minute! I thought it was LB that started the whole Munchausen by proxy thing. Per Katie, mind you. I have no idea. I don't really care. But yeah. So, and I'm just gonna come out here and say it. This isn't about Steve. I'm not making this about Steve. In fact, Steve doesn't even know where I planned on talking about him or anything today. And I'm kind of waiting for. I'm checking the checks. I'm just like, I don't know, like fucking, I don't know, YouTube magic. He just seems to pop up when his name's talked about. So, but anyway, here's what happened. Steve didn't like Katie. Steve didn't give her all kinds of credit for this article she wrote calling anti-vaxxers terrorists. Steve and Kyle had a falling out over the channel, the NSS channel, the non sequitur show channel. Katie sided with Kyle because, I don't know, she liked his hair, maybe, I don't fucking know. And so she then started a rumor saying, well, Steve sexually harassed me. Like, how? Like, when? Like, you guys all talk publicly. Like, where did this happen? She's like, oh, no. It was in a room before a live stream. Mm-hmm. Well, they were never alone together before a live stream. In fact, their producer, Bolinator, was there oftentimes. Bolinator, sadly, has passed away since, but when this well went down, Bolinator came out and made several posts condemning Katie for lying, and that no such thing happens. And this gets talked about here quick. Notice what she now will allege that Steve actually did, but Steve actually didn't do that either, in my opinion.
Cultivated that lie. They also cultivated the lie that I neglected my son because I have a job. They cultivated the lie that I lied about things that he said to me, that I took out a false TRO, that I stole his channel. Like, I didn't do any of those things. And then all of these other things where he's literally called me like a malignant narcissist. Like, he's one of the most narcissistic humans I've ever met in my entire life.
See, that's what I said I've said this quite a few times in the last couple of weeks. I kept saying, who has the biggest axe to grind with Katie? Who? And, what's the first name that comes to mind?
Well, there are going to be, like,
So this was on July 17th, 2021. I mean, if we were to go back and look at Kay's channel before this, did she in fact suggest that Steve might be behind all of this? Is what she just said true? I'm kind of curious, but I'm not going to go looking now. But if anyone knows offhand, I share.
watch really boring stuff on YouTube, right? Like history stuff. People who should have like no drama or conflict. And there are people I see all the time in their comments that are just hateful for no reason. There's always going to be.
See, I kind of wanted to say something about like that Dirty Uncle Sal, but I don't know if they'd be insensitive. I don't know. But Dirty Uncle Sal says, she sided with Kyle because she didn't believe that he was gay. And even if he was, Katie was sure she could change him. Yeah, I fully believe that. Yeah. Because she's so special. In my opinion, she had a boner for Kyle. Oh my gosh, she totally did. She totally. His hair. Oh my God, your hair. Did she say she wanted to sniff something off of his hair or something? Was it cocaine? I forget what it was. She said something about his hair. I forget. Oh, and then remember Kyle was talking about cereal? And Katie made that disgusting comment about, was it Captain Crunch or something? Remember the look on Kyle's face when she said that he's just like, and he just quickly moved on, like, no, we're not going there.
Haters, and when you cover controversial stuff, because the Duggar cult, the people who love Duggars, they love the Duggars.
Oh yeah. Like I'm so used to having like that kind of stuff, but this is not connected to that.
This is totally different. I see that.
Like I'm not afraid. We call them the Duggar huggers. And
Jeremiah Duggar ain't bad looking. I'm just gonna say it. I'm a married woman, but
he's probably one of the better looking.
Adderall.
The girls are
he probably acts like a total
Mystic.
idiot, but I don't have to marry him. I can just enjoy the way he looks.
There's this huge misconception that people think that like I just hate on the Duggars, and I don't. Like, if you actually watch my content, we really like a lot of the girls, and we are constantly cheering on Jill. Amy Duggar King is one of my friends, so we don't hate the Duggars.
Well, I've seen you grow in that aspect, and I think that's an important thing because, some people who have a lot of the negative stuff to say, they are looking back on older content before you got to know the family, before you were friends with Amy.
Yeah.
When you and I've seen you grow in that aspect, so I will give you that, absolutely.
Amy's a really sweet woman. So is her mom. I've gotten to know Deanna. They're like two of the kindest, most loving women I've ever met. They are Christians. They don't care that I'm an atheist. We don't argue about anything. They're conservative. Well, Amy's not super conservative. Amy's like pretty socially liberal. But they're just kind people. But they're dealing with a lot of really tough stuff, and they've been lied to for a very long time. And so you just have to it's hard once you get to know the family and you know the dynamics and you know how abusive the family dynamics are to be silent.
Right. So, Nat, are you still there?
Yeah.
You doing okay?
Yep.
Okay, very good. I just want to make sure you're all right still.
Waxy's wanting to come on the panel for a minute.
So I blocked her, but I blocked her because I get really tired of. There's been a lot of people coming into my DMs telling me how I'm supposed.
As amusing as it is to hear the whole Waxy part, because Waxy tries so hard to blame it on me. I want to skip over that because I want to get to where she talks about Steve again. Here, let me do this. It'll get me there quicker. Just me. Okay. Okay, there we go. Start from back here, maybe? All right.
She's like, I just don't interact with her a lot personally.
Right.
But she and Chesh are like obsessed with Steve, and they'll do anything he says. They don't.
Right.
Same with Tina. They'll do whatever. Tina will do whatever he says. Chesh will do whatever he says, and Golden Unicorn will do whatever he says. And Golden Unicorn is so cruel. She has the things she says about people are like so mean.
See, I've never even heard that name come up.
But well, it's like Manya is her name, I think.
Yes, it is.
And she's got different usernames depending on which she's on. I've always known her as Manya.
Somebody's got feedback on their mic.
Oh, is it me?
I don't know.
I'm on my phone.
Is it me?
I wonder if it's Carly. Let me take you out and put you back in.
I just
Sorry, Carly. I'm sorry, girl. Gotta have a little laughter in here. Lighten up the mood a little bit.
It made me laugh. It's funny, you get emotional, you'll laugh and you'll cry.
Is it still me?
Yeah, you guys, you gotta watch the language, and we're not gonna turn it into that. You guys all have to be timed out or something, because we're not gonna do that.
Oh, here comes Red. Look at all these people.
Gang's all here.
There's 500
Who
people
isn't here? I mean, really.
You know,
Well, that's why I would think that as adults, mostly women, we could have a conversation about this and come to some resolution, and not make the chat fall into cussing and saying stupid crap. And come on, let's all act like adults.
Well, what's going to happen is the I'm going to call them haters. I don't want to call them, but the detractors are going to nitpick and pick it all apart.
yeah.
And that's fine. But some of us can now maybe breathe, and I hope to God that includes Charlotte. I mean, it's to the point that Charlotte and I've had a conversation that we'll get off the internet. This is they went to her children and her grandchildren. It's gone too far.
I'm never going to apologize to Steve, Leslie, and I wish you'd just, leave me alone. This girl has lied about me more than any human. She is so... people are seriously in the chat saying over and over and over again that I should apologize to him for what he did. The only reason I ever apologized to him was because he threatened me. He said, if you...
Apologize to who?
Huh?
Apologize to who?
He wanted me to apologize for making the comment about, him sexually harassing me. And by the way, it might be a crime, but it's not like I pressed charges. He didn't go to jail for it, so people need to stop, speaking to that level. People get accused, people say things all the time. He said things that met the need of sexual harassment. He threatened me in email and said, if you don't apologize to me, I will continue to go after her. I had been beaten down. I had a small channel at the time, and I apologized. And then he kept going, and he lied, and he didn't stop. And then I retracted the apology, and I said, no, I'm not going to apologize because you did this. He threatened me into making a video. He kept threatening me to make more videos.
You
That's what he does to people.
I think that
Now, I just want to point that out because she's saying that the only reason why she made the video apologizing to Steve for accusing him of fraud and this and that with the state of California is because he sent me an email threatening me to do that. If I didn't do that, then he was gonna come at me or whatever, which they were already going at each other, whatever. But that's not even the part I was looking for, though. Shit. Damn it. Where'd it go? Okay, yep, here. Okay, my bad. That wasn't the part. All right, now I got it. For some reason, I thought that that's where she said something about jail, but I guess not. All right.
With me that I don't care about or whatever, they think I've done things, that's their opinion, I'm never going to satisfy them. I'm not going to apologize for things that I haven't done. And I'm also not going to apologize for things that I don't think that I've done wrong or that just because I have an opinion about it. But I will apologize for things that I have done. In terms of this situation, a lot of people have been hurt and all we want is for it to stop.
Hey, Katie, can you tell me how to slow the comments? I cannot find it. I know. The chat's just screaming at me to
Okay,
start.
so you said sexual harass. Okay, I forgot. It's been 2 years. I'm apologizing if I said sexual harass or uncomfortable. Does it matter what I called it?
Yeah.
It does, because a man that's talking about his penis to a woman who's married and it's an unbiased conversation while they're working, how do you qualify that?
But do you agree saying I feel uncomfortable is different than saying you're sexually harassing me?
I felt sexually harassed and I felt uncomfortable. And Steve,
But those are 2 different things. That's what we're saying.
Carly, have you watched this man? Have you seen what he does?
Yeah.
I have seen how he has touched me, and that was not the first time. And I'm not going to fight with people about what they believe I went through. I was there.
Let's take a breath. I don't want it to
All
turn
right, so
into that. I don't want it to
That's
turn
what I'm
into...
going to end it on this stream for now. Because I just felt the need to put that out there. This is how capable she is of lying about things and concocting an entire narrative. And then a little bit of pushback, then she'll change her story, but then she reverts back to the original story because that's what she wants in the first place. She wants to be the ultimate victim in every situation because she knows she can't win by merit. She knows she can't win by argument. She knows she can't win by skill or maneuverability, whatever. No. There's only one way she knows, or she believes, or she tries to win over anyone, and that's by making herself their victim, which is absurd to me. That people would want to be seen or actually be anyone's victim. This blows my mind. But it's not just her. I think there's quite a few people on YouTube, social media, the same kind of way of thinking, maybe. But so that's what she said. She says that Steve mentioned his penis before a live stream while they were in a StreamYard type of room or whatever. And that was sexual harassment. And she says it's sexual harassment because, well, she was married. Apparently single women can't be sexually harassed. I don't know. And because they were working. They weren't working. She wasn't being paid for her appearance on the stream. Sure, you could argue that, well, content creators need to put themselves out there to garner an audience and yada yada, sure. But it's not a place of employment, okay? YouTube is not a workplace. There is no human resources department, okay? There's no employee code of conduct or whatever, you know? There's no one to complain to. It's not a work environment. And your pay isn't conditional on whether or not you're in this live stream. You can come and go at any point. It's not a place of employment. So that right there is just complete bullshit. And then she says, well, all right, fine. I was uncomfortable. But she called it sexual harassment. You even hear her later on in the stream, she's still using the term sexual harassment. And then she says, well, it's not a big deal. It's not like I pressed charges. He didn't go to jail or anything. But what the fuck? Just get off my back. Let my sexual harassment claim, stay. It's not like you went to jail. Like, oh, dude, you're fucking nuts. All right, one more thing I want to do. And then we're going to move on to something funny. All right, so what? 2758 to 50.
Involved with the Matt stuff, not in a general sense.
Yeah,
So-
I think that's what I'm saying. I think that's, I'm saying she's not.
And this current thing, I would say, if you look at how hard these people are that are defending it still,
Mhm. Yes.
Cheshire for sure.
Mhm.
Steve,
Yeah. Yep.
Tina, Kim.
Yep.
Okay, but Nat said Aaron EKC was not involved.
Well, she might not.
That's not how she worded it, Kate. You need to, she didn't say
I
not
didn't say that.
involved.
Yeah,
I said, like,
everybody's splitting hairs. I can't stand that. Just say it. Don't.
well, I can now, but I couldn't before because it wasn't my place.
You don't
Those are my
understand the
play.
threats that Nat has received. You guys can get what the terror of these emails that we get constantly. And like today, for instance, I put that thing out on Twitter and I didn't say the name, right? I get an email that says, why are you believing Nat now? She's lying. And Nat gets an email from them that says, shut your mouth or we'll shoot and kill Salts and kill you.
Oh.
Wow. That's
So,
horrible.
like they're trying to threaten her to not talk, but then they're also like telling me that it's a lie. And that's how they've existed for so long.
That is just sickening.
And then when she realized that like he was being rude to her and vile in
Okay.
UK, like the detective I believe said that, he told me that Nat fully confessed and that he said she's a vulnerable adult and she has told me that Nat fully violated, but she still committed a crime. And
Yeah.
like there's not a lot. He can forward it to the prosecution and we can get a warrant and have her, a warrant put out, meaning that she'll go to jail if she comes to the United States. But we can't send it to the UK. Like, they spoke to the police in the UK, like the detective I believe said that. He told me that Nat fully confessed and that he said she's a vulnerable adult and she has
That's interesting.
She's easily manipulated, and it's true. And you don't have to like Nat or understand Nat. I don't like some of the stuff she's done, but she's also in a way a victim of all of this. And that's what they do, is they turn victims into perpetrators, and they don't know it.
People are asking on here, Katie, if you have evidence that EKC is involved.
Oh, I was just going off what Natalie said. Like, someone was asking, like, and she had said, like, she didn't know that Aaron was not involved. But I will say this, that Aaron has been spending a lot of time defending what Steve does. And so she's in really tight with Steve. I don't know about, like, the threats or whatever, but what she's trying, Aaron's perspective right now, what Aaron's doing is she's trying to make you guys make me think that my claims of everything that are uncredible, so that Steve's claims against me are credible. So she's, like, in a way doing his damage control, like, trying to, like, his public image.
See, this is
She's also behind what Charlotte is going through.
Yeah, she pulled.
She is behind what I.
WOACB had a bit of a hard on for me, I guess, back then. But so here we have it. Now the people to blame are Steve.
Aunt Jen.
Oh shoot. Shit. She's gonna have to wait. She's gonna have to wait. Okay. So now do we have the people behind it? Are Steve, as she mentions, Tina, the Facebook group. Katie doesn't directly, name me or whatever, but WOACB sure as hell tries to get me in there. So yeah, here's where we are now with the whole stalker and harassment story and everything. Now, which one do I want to do? All right, so it's gonna be that one. All right, so I think this one. Go away, FaceTime. Oh no. Last time I got a FaceTime call when I was streaming, it froze everything. Come on. It's not frozen now, it's not. I'm just trying to prevent that from happening, I guess. There we go. Okay, that should stop it. We should stop it sooner. There it goes. Oh, for fuck's sake. Give me 1 second. Let me just get that back up. Am I frozen? I can't tell. My computer's not frozen, but it looks like my screen might be frozen. There we go. Okay. So this one's, okay, from... Dude, I'm like so scared now of my computer freezing. Like, it's legit scaring the shit out of me. I'm expecting it. So this video is called My Stalker Got Arrested Thanks to Tatty Westbrook's attorney. How she tried... Now the page moves. I'm better. I don't still look frozen here, do I? I feel so bad though. I am frozen. You can hear me, but you can't see me. I'm better. Okay, there we go. I don't still look frozen here, do I? I feel so bad though. All right, so. It's coming. Okay, there we go. Give it a second. I got stupid pinwheel. It'll go away though. I hope. If I have to, I'll stream it in from the laptop because it's just one video. Like, what the fuck? If I close this up. Okay. How's slowing down my computer? That might be doing it. Okay, now I have control again. So, this is from, this is called, My Stalker Got Arrested Thanks to Tatty Westbrook's Attorney, How She Tried to Ruin My Family's Life. This is from June 2nd, 2022. So this is just under a year, like 11 plus months after the stream we were just watching, okay? After the stream where she was up on panel with Natalie, defending Natalie, almost like kind of supporting Natalie, if you will. And this one's still up on her page. The other ones I believe are, but I don't know for sure. Oh, and
welcome
there's
back
no
to my
record of
channel.
her arrest.
This is a different video, and I don't even know what I'm going to title it yet, but I don't really come onto this channel and talk about my life. And there's been a lot that's been going on in my life that I just never talk about or share because
now here's what I want to point out with this video. This is, according to her statements, she's gone through hell and back with the stalking. Her family's been threatened. CPS cases have been opened on her. She said sheriff's at her house, which she refers to as swatting, okay? She's been swatted by her own definition, or by her own explanation. So her family's been targeted, yo, okay? And sure, I can understand being happy that the person allegedly responsible for this might finally be held accountable. But that's not what she's happy about. Just watch.
Last few years that guarding your privacy online can be really important in my line of work. And I learned the hard way, and that there's people out there that will do things online that under the guise of being anonymous that they might never do otherwise. And
sorry, let me go to chat here real quick. First of all, thank you so much for the super sticker, Dashhound Mommy. I can't always talk. And where are these? Okay, maybe the other way. Oh, okay. So Greenworm79, oh my God, thank you so much for the 5 memberships. So Greenworm79 gifted 5 memberships, and one went to Lissy, one went to Sunshine and Rain, another one went to Mackenzie, then Teresa, and Princess Jax. Yay, awesome, thank you so much.
And with the fact that they believe they are anonymous and untouchable, go to links that are really some of the worst experiences that my family has ever had.
I'm not sitting through that shit.
With me. And I found out about this while I was involved in a lawsuit with Tatty Westbrook. So a lot of you might know that Tatty sued Without a Crystal Ball in 2020, and we settled the case. We went through a mediation process, which was very successful, and I would say, like, on my side of things, there's absolutely no hard feelings, and I feel like...
Notice how, like, the other previous video that she did a little over a year prior, she says there's no hard feelings. No one involved has any hard feelings. No hard feelings on either side. Now, she says, well, at least on my side, there aren't any hard feelings. It's almost like she said that before and then she was told not to say that again.
Everyone left that day and that experience feeling like positive. And we had a goal. Sure. We had a goal in mind, and that was that there was someone online that was doing things to people that were really, really bad, and they were doing things to our kids. There's been a lot of videos made about me. A lot. I mean, I understand if you want to talk about me, talk about me. I really don't care. Mm-hmm. I don't care if you say a million things about me. I think I would be a hypocrite, and I've learned the hard way. Because I used to get really mad when people made videos about me. Now I just don't even care, and I really don't care to comment because it's like, I kind of think of it as this way, is like, I go on my platform and I am a reporter and I report on people in the public sphere, and most of these people don't reach out to me, or if they do, it's, you know, it's not a like antagonistic position. So I just sort of like let people talk. The hard part for the last couple years is that a lot of the stuff that's been out there about me has just been really, really false. But instead of fighting back, I've just been trying to allow things to happen behind the scenes instead from a legal perspective, so that I didn't ruin the possibility of the people that were doing this to be held accountable. So like last year I did a video about last year I did this video where I basically explained to you that there was this woman that was out there searching for photographs of my son, and that this woman, in collaboration with some other people, was in this group chat trying to find photographs of my kid, creating photographs with my child, and trying to create videos of my son to try to get my husband and I in trouble. I also explained that the same person and group of people, it's one person that I believe to be the mastermind, and then I think other people just got into the situation as like they were just collateral in this for her. Like she basically would go to anyone that didn't like me and capitalize on their dislike for me to make them not be objective about me. So she posed as, just to give you...
You know, so now the blame is, once again, all on Natalie. And now everyone else who was mentioned was just collateral damage. Now Steve was just collateral damage.
Sort of a high level what happened. A woman named Natalie Kennett posed as a friend of mine. So she created this online persona where she and I were best friends. And she told people that because we were best friends, she had all of this information about me. She started this when I was in the lawsuit with Tatty, and she began to insert herself into my life and has told a lot of people that we were friends when I've never met her ever before. So through this scheme of hers, she basically tried to convince everyone we had a relationship when we never did. I'd never even spoken to her. The only time, I think, before this all started, I'd received a single message from her, I think on my Instagram at the time, and it was something about how...
Sorry, I'm looking at I should be paying attention to this, but I couldn't help but to notice one of the chat comments. I'm going to read it. Where'd it go? Where'd it go? Oh, how far off am I? Wait, it goes down. Oh shit, it's way up there. Okay. Okay, Day Hi Guy says, I love the chat here. Everyone really is very nice. We were told how it wasn't so. Of course, it was all bullshit, like all those claims. I really like EKC and crew. Good peeps. Oh, thank you, that Hi Guy. I like you too. I'm sorry that you had to deal with the things you dealt with. I really am sorry for that, but I am happy at the outcome of it, you know? So.
Some of my followers had said something that she didn't like, and that if I didn't denounce something that I was like condoning or supporting what was happening to her. And I was like, I don't even know what you're talking about. And at this point, I spent a lot more time like in my DMs talking to people, talking to subscribers, talking to people, just getting to know them. And I didn't have the best boundaries, I would say, with who I spoke to and what I shared. And I think at a point she sort of capitalized on that, but then she also created like all of these other fake accounts. So it got to the point where I didn't even know who I was talking to a lot of the time in my DMs. So if I don't respond to your DMs, it's because of Natalie, because she has created probably hundreds of aliases over the last 2.5 years. And she has tried to
basically ruined my life and other people's lives. And it's been overwhelming. I will say a lot of the legal situations that I found myself into, she has made worse, or she has tried to like run up my expenses. She has influenced the people to sue me, or she has, I believe, or she has given them information about me to make them think I'm someone that I'm not. And
See,
that's
now,
what happened with
right there. I want to touch on that. She's making the claim, she's setting this claim up rather, that it's because of this crazy obsessed stalker from the UK that so many people have opted to sue her because they were fed false information, whatever, from her, just like, from Creepshow or whatever. Well, she brings this up again, like not too long ago, over Todd while going through this shit with Todd Chrisley, the end of their lawsuit there, right, not long before they settled. She tries to state that Todd only thinks or believes the things he believes or whatever because Natalie fed it to him. Because Todd had put out a tweet like a while back saying, hey, if you've been wronged by Katie Joy, message me. He said some bullshit about it, like a class action defamation suit, like whatever. But people felt like finally someone else knows how we feel, and someone with a voice knows how we feel. So people reached out to him. So I would naturally assume if I were in Katie's shoes that, if I had a real stalker, if this person was real, whatever, I would have set that up too. And been like, he probably got what he got from Natalie, But he wasn't even suing her over anything that he could have possibly heard from somewhere else. Like, Todd's not an idiot. The things Todd was suing her over were things that were verified already. He wouldn't have filed the suit if the shit wasn't verified. So, and it's just funny how it seems like she set up like this permanent defense for any time she's sued. Oh, well, just make it look like these stalkers are back and say, oh, look at you. This is this is why you think the things you think. This is why you're coming at me. You're targeting me. It's all because of my stalkers, because they're turning everyone against me. Like, that's what it's like was set up here, because that's when Natalie gets mentioned again. When the deflection is needed, or the scapegoat is needed, whatever.
Basically inserted herself into the case, and they, for a point in time, believed what she was telling them about me until they realized that what she was telling them about me was false. So she told them that I was hacking people, that I was sending like all kinds of D threats to people, that I had all these aliases, that I was doing all of these like illegal activities with people, that I was trying to ruin people's lives, that I had some sort of relationship with Clark Swanson, who was Tatty's business partner. She created all of these scenarios which were
But she kind of did. I mean, she already admitted in a previous video, or video previous to this one, that Clark Swanson was her source in the Tatty coverage. So, yeah.
Completely false. And I started getting thousands upon thousands of emails about this, like saying that I needed to give the video I had with Clark, or I needed to do this that I had with Clark. Like, she was trying to basically say that I was going to get arrested if I didn't provide information that I had, or that she had proof of this sort of weird relationship that I had with Clark, which I just did not have. So she was trying to prove that there was this connection between me, her, and Clark, and she was also trying to, like, in a way, say that she had information for the Westbrooks that would help them because of that relationship with Clark. It was completely not based in fact, and it was proven to not be true. And I'll be completely transparent. As a part of our settlement, I gave them my communications with him. So they have everything that I had with him, and it's not that much. So, there was so much misinformation during that case because of people like Natalie inserting themselves into it, that from a legal perspective, moving forward, we've just stopped talking about all the legal situations because it just fuels all these people.
Misty Gay says, wait, who else did Nat allegedly harass? Because I always wondered why it was just you, Katie. See, here's the thing. The narrative for Nat was never told as though Nat was targeting anyone else. It was always Katie. It was always about Katie. And she says this in this video here coming up. She's going to say, people said I was just making everything about me. But guess what? It was all about me. I swear to God. Like, keep listening. This is what she says. Watch. Anyway, a lot of other creators did get like these harassing emails, these threatening emails. I was one of the creators. But there was never any depiction that it was coming from Nat until, like, Uni Rock and Katie just decided to make it so. You know, because before then, these emails that we received were coming from me and Steve and, you know, and Tina and Dottie Morgan or whatever, you know, but now it was on that. So, yeah.
And encourages them to enter into the lawsuit. And the attorneys that I have today are much more, I mean, Michael Brown, who's my attorney in Washington, was faced with a very impossible task at the time. And my attorneys here are a lot more like, we ignore what happens on social media and we just let it play out in court, which has helped me greatly with navigating what Natalie has done in my life. So she inserted herself into my life. She created all of these fake accounts, and she reported me to the authorities on multiple occasions. Now, her, because of what she's done and because of how she's involved herself with other people, she has gotten people with much larger platforms to believe these things about me. And so that has fueled some of what's happened to me as well, because some of the people that have sued me, I don't want to say their names, I believe have been fed information from her. So people believe these weird things about me that she tells them. So some of the lies that she has created and she told people was that because she and I were best friends, that my child was being hurt by my husband, that I was being hurt by my husband, that I wanted to leave my husband, that she had documented proof of what my husband was doing to both me and to my son, that she had photographs of me that had injuries, that she had photographs of my son with injuries. And when her story started falling apart and people realized that she was lying about that kind of stuff, she went to the extent to try to take images of my son's face and transpose them onto bodies and created a manufactured CP. And she wanted to create videos of my son in CP to get me arrested or my husband arrested for CSAM, which she got transfixed on because of my coverage of the Duggars, I'm assuming.
See, that's weird. Who would... I don't know. I feel like this just seems like a crazy thing to try to frame someone with. And when it's so obviously not true, when it's so obviously bullshit. I mean, this is how ineffective Natalie was. Natalie was so ineffective that she was unable to pull any of this off. But yes, she's so effective that she was never charged or arrested or even discovered, really, for quite a while. So, yeah.
No matter what story I was covering, she would somehow get fixated on that topic, and then everything that would come my way would have to do with what that person was doing. So in the Duggars...
But yet that never happened. That never happened.
Case, she lied and said that she was part of this religious organization and bad things happened to her in this organization. She tried to manufacture CSAM with my son's image and with Michael Saltz's daughter. She got to a point.
She also reached out to Preacher Boy, another creator, and convinced him I was sending threats to him. He then uploaded a video about me believing her lies. I think he still believes I sent him those messages. Yet she didn't convince him of anything. You kind of set that up yourself just by being you, because he looked into you, he saw who and what you really were, and then when he received those messages, it wasn't at all a leap for him to think, yeah, that's totally something Katie would do.
Where I was receiving, I would say, some.
And here's the thing, though, too, like, it's alleged that Katie, or that this Nat person, buddied up to all of these people who Katie had issues with, or yada yada. But it never happened. She never buddied up to anyone. Wait, what? What are you talking about? Stop. Where the hell did I put it? There we go. I'm not on tonight, right? 239. Yeah, no, it's requested out. Okay. It's requested. Okay. Sorry.
Hundreds of these emails from her, which included threats, videos that were very graphic, descriptions of what she would do to my child, descriptions of what she was going to do to me that were very graphic. I mean, I have a folder to this day, which I've still kept, in the event that at some point she gets arrested, which she has, that I'm going to hand over to the authorities and they can do with it what they want. But this was all the stuff that she had said to me, and it was horrible. And it put me in a position where we were really scared for our safety. We debated moving. We had
Wait, where are
police
those
here.
messages,
We had-
Veda Jade?
I mean, the sheriff was
An email?
amazing throughout the process here, but it was
don't
made more
remember.
challenging by the fact that she was then going online, and anytime I would say something happened, she would say that I was lying, and then people would say that it didn't happen. So it was like I was being gaslit even when I was telling the truth. Like, if the police showed up here, she would tell people that that didn't happen, and they would believe her because they didn't like me. And she would use, I'm assuming she would use
No,
that we were
let's get
friends.
this
I
straight.
don't
No
know
one
how she
believed you
convinced-
because they didn't like you. Yeah, they didn't believe you because they didn't like you. They didn't believe her because they didn't like you. They just didn't believe you.
people that we had a relationship, other than I know that she's likely creating fake messages. So
See?
she had successfully convinced people, multiple people, lots of people, that I'm this horrible person that's doing really bad things. And so people were making videos buying into this, that I was a hacker, that I was sending people messages. I mean, they were during the stuff with the lawsuit, I think Emily Baker was getting stuff too. And so people were then accusing me of sending these things to Emily, which I was like, I didn't want Emily to be a target of her either. Like, anyone that was remotely connected to me became a target of her. And people that spoke out against her and defended me became targets of her. So I can specifically think of Kay Baxter, who has a channel that's covered me. She's been critical of me. I will say that in all of the people that I've spoken to that cover me, that are critical of me, she's by far like the most respectful and treats me like a human and asks me questions. So thanks for that, Kay. So Kay defended me, and she then became a target. At one point, I think Charlotte on the web said something in defense of me, and then she became a target. I think T-Spiracy might have become a target at some point. I just think like all these different people eventually became targets, and then people that were working with her and helping her were indirectly becoming targets too, but they were ignoring it because they were getting all of these threats, and she was telling them that I was sending them, but she's like befriending them.
Sorry. So, let me see. Did you leave another message? So, Veda, I went through our emails, and I don't have any emails between you and I, directly before June 2nd. It's maybe months before then. Like, you and I talked a lot in July. I'm showing. I don't know. If I'm wrong, if it's somewhere else, let me know. I'll look.
Telling them that I'm doing this to her and to them. So she would have to, like, every single person she went to, she had to like spread this conspiracy and scheme wider. She had to make it look like she wasn't involved in it, and it was always me. It really made no sense. And she convinced people that I was sending the messages that I was receiving to myself. So everything I did was I was doing it to myself. Everything that was happening to other people was I was doing it to them. Natalie was the one that was telling the truth. Natalie was the one, and she used mental health as her excuse. So anytime something would come up, she would fall on it that she had dissociative identity disorder, or that she had some severe mental illness, and that we were supposed to excuse it. So anytime she got caught doing something, she would use a mental health issue and use that as an excuse, which over time became very manipulative when you know that they know that if they say this, you're not going to fight back, because in my eyes, I'm not going to go after someone who's going through mental health crises, because I've gone through them too, and I'm a mom of a child with autism. Like, I'm sympathetic to that kind of stuff, and I don't want to hurt people. And I think she played on that a lot with other people. And then there's just been all these other minions that they know what she's doing is wrong, but they don't care, because as long as it's happening to me, they'll excuse what she's doing and they'll justify it because they think that I'm a bad person. I don't care if people don't like me, and I don't care if there's like these creators that think I'm an evil person. They've been misled by this woman, and finally, I can't believe this, she was arrested yesterday. And I know for some of you, none of this will ever make sense. And for some of you, you're just like, why the hell are you even telling me this, Katie? And I feel like it's like...
Because she's been waiting to do this for so long.
A year and a half, I've been pretty quiet about it. I don't talk about it. Once the FBI got involved, I didn't speak about the investigation because, one, I figured she would tell...
everything I played regarding this from Kitty about this has been after the alleged FBI got involved. That was her not talking about it. Yeah.
People I was lying, and then people would think that it didn't happen. Even though 3 separate agencies were involved. So we first got the Seattle agency involved, then it moved to the Los Angeles agency, then it moved to the Philadelphia.
It's the same agency, it's different.
A group in Pennsylvania. And it was the group in Pennsylvania that executed multiple search warrants and did a full investigation because we were of the belief that there was people involved that she had brought into the scheme that were from the United States and she was from the UK. And the FBI was like, if she's from the UK, there's not much we can do. If we can find someone that she was corroborating or like collaborating with here in the United States, we can certainly get her charged on that. And their specific issues were the morphine that she was doing with my son's image and Michael Saltz's daughter's images. So it's actually a federal crime of obscenity, and under the statutes of CSAM, you can't morph a child's photograph onto a body that's in a position that's unclothed. It's considered.
Here's the thing, though. It's such a crime that you can't do these things, and Natalie so did it, right? That not one fucking agency in any country has charged her with a damn thing or even arrested her because of it. Like Jesus, like I feel like with the government's swift action and thorough action against someone like Josh Duggar, which for granted, and yeah, it's definitely crazy horrific. I feel like there would have been something comparable here, right? But yet there wasn't. So I don't know.
Considered indecent, and it's considered CSAM. So they were going to, if they could, try to prove that and charge these people with like production, which was 20 plus years. So I had to be really quiet. And so after a very exhaustive investigation, it came down to the fact that they believed it was all coming from Natalie, and that even if other people were brought into it, they eventually became victims of Natalie. And so people would cut her off.
I feel like she hated saying that, like alleging that these other people brought into it, who she's named previously, ended up being victims of Natalie. Like, notice the face she makes there. Let me get it back down to normal speed.
But then other people were brought into it. They eventually became victims of Natalie. And so
like it's like that was so hard for her to say.
But then she would create emails and messages and make people believe that people were talking to her even though they weren't. And while the investigation with the FBI was going on,
I don't know if he ever reported that -X. I think I'll have to check my text messages if he even claimed to report it. But -X says Saltz also never reported the apparent boom threat on an American congressman like he should have. Yeah, because apparently there was an alleged boom threat on a synagogue that Saltz's family attended that was also in attendance frequently by an American congressman. I don't know if it was ever directly stated that was reported. I know it was talked about, but I don't know.
We were trying to like get anything that we could from Natalie, and we were trying to get her to like, I had to play like nice guy with her. Like I had to be like nice to her, and I had to try to get information from her. But the information was always just.
That right there should tell you how much bullshit this is. Like, she thinks she was nice to someone when she didn't want to be. Like that. I don't think that's a possibility. I'm just saying.
So convoluted, and her story would change, and then she would have her mom email me, and then she would email me, and the stories never matched up. I mean, it got to a point where she literally admitted to the police in my county that she falsified records and reports. And then there was discussion with the sheriff's office here, are we going to charge her with filing false reports? And that was another thing that we were talking about with the FBI. And they eventually came to the conclusion that without Natalie, everyone else was sort of ancillary, and they didn't feel like they could bring anything against anyone here in the US because Natalie was creating so much fake documentation to make it seem like all of these people were doing things that they weren't doing. So during that process, a lot of us were like pointing fingers at a lot of people, like this person did this person did that, this person did this. And I believed it because that's what I saw. I was seeing people interacting with her, and I saw them all working together, and the FBI believed that she was the mastermind. When we got that news, it was really hard because we wanted her to be held accountable. Imagine going through the worst stuff of your life. You've got police at your house saying that you've been reported for producing CSAM, and you're like, I didn't do that. Or you're harboring Brian Laundrie. I mean, that literally happened. Or, I mean, that my husband was live streaming and was threatening to hurt me. You know, it was stuff that was just so off the wall that the police were like, I think she's trying to get you hurt through us. So then we had to develop like this whole system of like, how do we protect our safety from her through these reports? And then they have to follow up on this stuff, because what if it wasn't true? You know, what if it was true? Like, what if I was being hurt? What if my son was being hurt? They would get in trouble for not following due diligence. After this whole thing came to pass with that, and they narrowed it down to her, they still don't know if she's been pushed or aggravated to do these things by other people, or motivated by other people with larger platforms. That we don't know, but we do know that she was instigating a lot of it. So Michael Saltz and I were really disappointed when we found out about the FBI, but Michael didn't drop it. I kind of like, once the FBI said they weren't going to do anything, I just lost hope, and I was like, I don't think that anything's going to happen. And I got in, you know, I stayed in communication with Michael, and he would keep me updated. I mean, for a long time, my conversations with Michael were daily, as we were trying to work this out, figure this out, and fight for our kids.
All right, so I haven't seen, I'm looking at when it was discussed. I don't see him making that direct statement. I see him explaining the threat, and then mentioning about the congressman going there, and then saying it just elevated or whatever quickly. And then the next thing I read is him saying they don't believe there'll ever be consequences. I don't know. I mean, maybe on Twitter or something, but I want to see if it was a direct claim, though. That I want to see that interests me.
And he made a promise. He made a promise to me, and he made a promise to my son, and he made a promise to my husband that he was going to hold the people accountable that did what they did to her, to his daughter, to his family, and to my family, and to anyone else that was collateral damage as a part of this. And he made good on that promise. Michael posted this on his Twitter, and I just want to prove to you that this is real. He said, I'm advised that Natalie Kennett has been arrested today and had her elected.
See, now when I showed these on a stream I did months ago, I something jumped out at me here. Devices seized by the West Mercia Police Department, UK. Why didn't he tag the police department? You know, like it. I don't know.
Electronic devices seized by the West America Police Department in the UK.
It's right. He misspelled it too. It's West Mercia. He spelled it West America. But see, he did a tweet after this apologizing for the misspelling, and he tagged something. Oh, yeah. So, no, that's right. So when he did the tweet, apologizing for misspelling it and then said the correct name of the department, he didn't bother tagging them then either. He didn't even tag him to say, listen, sorry, this is them. I fucked up, whatever. But he tags other people for things, but not that. I don't know. Just
conditions of her bail state she may not own or possess any device capable of connecting to and send any messages or images from the internet. If you're contacted by Ms. Kennett while she's out on bail, please document it and contact me privately to obtain information on how to submit such evidence to appropriate detectives. If you are a V related to CP images, threats to your children, and or the fabrication of DMs.
He doesn't tag any of these offices either. I don't know why nothing's, I don't know.
And emails, and you believe Miss Kennett was involved.
Oh,
Email.
all right. Puppy break. No, come on. I told him I was going to show him the puppy anyways. Here. All right. Never mind. I'll get her in a second. Wait, all right. Now I feel like I have to do it because I said I would. 1 second. All right.
All sorts of stuff to the floor.
I got it. All right.
No, tons of stuff.
I will. I got it. Come here. Did you take her out yet?
Yeah.
Okay.
Did you not hear everything that I did?
No, I did not. I was listening. Come here. Come here, puppy. Come here. All right. Come here. I know. I got you. Oh, yeah, I got you. Everyone loves the puppy. No. I know. I should clear off a path for myself. I got it. Okay. All right. I got the puppy. Everyone. Yay, puppy. Oh, see. Okay, what's that? Is that Michael? Go look at. Hi. Why are you shaking? Why are you scared? Aw. Hi there. What are you doing, huh? There's puppy. Yeah. Okay, puppy. We'll put you down. It's probably a noise. And now there goes the fire alarm. She's not gonna like that either. Okay, here you go. Alright, there's puppy. Okay. Let me go back.
Mail me your information privately to be passed on to the appropriate detectives if you're willing to make a statement. He said, we thank the agents of the at the FBI offices in Seattle, Los Angeles, and Philadelphia that worked this case.
Oh, my messenger.
We also thank the constabulary detectives and forensic teams of the West America Police Department for their...
There's another thing. If she had been talking and working with these detectives there in the UK, wouldn't she know how to pronounce that word better? Like, she didn't. She would have used that word before, right? That's what I think. I don't know.
Hard work they have done and continue to do in this case. And then he thanked another person who was doing some work with him on the internet. So, long story short, if you are someone that has been affected by this person, contact Michael. I am prepared to fully cooperate with this investigation.
All right,
so I'm not going to be making much more comments than this. And I want to just say that, like, when I say that she's done something, that's my belief. I hope they can prove, like, they've proved it here in the United States through the FBI that she did these things. So I feel like I can confidently say that. But, like, on the UK side, I think they're going to have to make that same determination. So they're going to have to go through a lot. I know that they got her phone yesterday and a bunch of other stuff, and they're going to be looking through all of that. So if you have seen these videos where people just can't stop talking about me, part of it is because of Natalie and what her, like, behavior has, how she's twisted people's minds about me. And I just want to say this, whether or not you like someone on the internet or you don't like someone on the internet, don't get so lost in your dislike of someone to actually go after and report things that are just false.
Wait a minute.
Like, it's one thing to report on a criminal case or a public figure and doing research and that kind of stuff. Like, what I do here is I try to stick to what's happened in court and what are people telling me or what's being posted online. I try not to, assign things to people that haven't happened. I try not to be misguided by not liking someone to just create something to get a view because I'm bored or because I want the attention or whatever it is. Just remember that being blinded by hate for someone doesn't absolve you of responsibility to not spread information that's hurtful and not to participate with people or engage people that are creating CP. There are literally creators that were defending her creation of this and saying I did it or that it wasn't that bad. Until your child is on the other end of this and it's your child's image being made in this capacity, even the people that had their kids as targets were trying to defend her because they hate me. What if your child grows up and sees that video and sees that mom did not fight for her or him, and mom was justifying that a stranger on the internet made CP with their image? And that's out there in the internet.
All right, shoot.
That's
Oh,
horrible.
shoot. Okay. Vita, I saw your message. I want to go over something with you, though, first, before I do that. Okay? That's all.
And that's why
I have a couple questions I just want to be clear about. Have clarified before I do that. But yes, definitely.
And we're going to figure this out. And I just want to thank Michael Seltz for doing that. People that are creating CP. There are not stop talking about me. Part of it was doing some work with him on the internet. So, long story short, if you are someone that has been affected by this person, contact Michael. I am prepared to fully cooperate with this investigation, so I'm not going to be making much more comments than this. And I want to just say that, like, when I say that she's done something, that's my belief. I hope they can prove, like, they've proved it here in the United States through the FBI that she did these things. So I feel like I can confidently say that. But
okay, so right there, she just said that it's been proven with the FBI that Natalie has done all these things, but yet the FBI has just decided not to act on it. They're just letting it go.
Like, on the UK side, I think they're going to have to make that same determination.
Also, too, I want to bring up, like, was it, I forget who it was now in chat, about how that boom threat there, okay? Now, I just saw an image of the boom threat there, and it was allegedly sent by one of these co-conspirators, this guy named Dustin. But yet, this threat was made by allegedly this guy named Dustin, but yet they decided not to arrest him or anything. Like, that's a pretty big deal, right?
So they're going to have to go through a lot. I know that they got her phone yesterday and a bunch of other stuff, and they're going to be looking through all of that. So if you have seen these videos where people just can't stop talking about me, part of it is because of Natalie and what her, like, behavior has, how she's twisted people's minds about me. And I just want to say this, whether or not you like someone on the internet or you don't like someone on the internet, don't get so lost in your dislike of someone to actually go after and report things that are just false. Like, it's one thing to report on a criminal case or a public figure and doing research and that kind of stuff. Like, what I do here is I try to stick to what's happened in court and what are people telling me or what's being posted online. I try not to, assign things to people that haven't happened. I try not to be misguided by not liking someone to just create something to get a view because I'm bored or because I want the attention or whatever it is. Just remember that being blinded by hate for someone doesn't absolve you of responsibility to not spread information that's hurtful and not to participate with people or engage people that are creating CP. There are literally creators that were defending her creation of this and saying I did it or that it wasn't that bad. Until your child is on the other end of this and it's your child's image being made in this capacity, even the people that had their kids as targets were trying to defend her because they hate me. What if your child grows up and sees that video and sees that mom did not fight for her or him, and mom was justifying that a stranger on the internet made CP with their image? And that's out there in the internet now. That's horrible.
I was so mad when I first seen that because this was right after. See, here's what happened. My kid was one of those kids that these images were made of. And here's what I'm just going to briefly explain what they were. It was like taking this old black and white image of a naked woman, taking public picture that I have on my Facebook page of my daughter, who was then like 7 years old, I think, in color, okay, did like cut out her face and then stuck it like a collage almost to the other image. That's exactly what it was, okay? It wasn't anything else. So after months and months of no arrests, nothing happening, and people asking me all the time, why hasn't she been arrested? What's going on? Why hasn't anything happened from this? I don't know. Well, at my job, there's like a lot of professionals who come into the place where I work, and one of them is a retired attorney who worked for the federal district here in upstate New York. And so we got talking, and I was filling him in about the defamation lawsuit and everything, you know. Just long story short, we got to this, and so when I asked him, I said, well, what would someone be looking at if they were arrested? You know, what are the chances of them being arrested? You know, like, what can come from this? Like, what can we expect? And he's like, well, what are you talking about exactly? So I briefly explained to him the same way I just explained to you here. And he was explaining the law to me. He said, well, first it has to legally meet the qualifications as being that. He said, there are some instances or whatever where it's just the attempt is like so comical that it doesn't quite qualify as that because of that. And she's talking about morphing images. This isn't even morphing images that I received or I was talking about. No morphing at all. It was literally like, ever make those collages or just cut out things from the magazine and put on a poster board in school? Like, that's exactly what it was. So, well, not exactly, but that's exactly what it looked like. So, and he's explaining to me how some things are not considered as CP or CSA, whatever, because it's so ridiculous that it can't be that, and they have to leave room for some things, you know, as distasteful as it may be, some things like parody or satire or whatever. So he and I had this conversation like months prior to what I'm about to explain now. So meanwhile, or months later, I'm in a live stream on my channel, and people are asking me the same question: why hasn't she been arrested? And it's been, you know, people are fed up. So I'm like, listen, I don't know if this has anything to do with it. I don't know. But, you know, we do know that the FBI here or whatever passed on it and pushed it out to the UK. So maybe this is why. And I just explained the conversation I had. There was no defense. I didn't even talk to this attorney looking for a defense for anyone. I wanted to know what to expect as a result of what happened. No defending anyone. I just relayed my conversation I had. Maybe it's a possible reason. Maybe it would help explain something to people if they would say, I don't know. I'm not an attorney. Just passing along what I was told. Well, this huge campaign against me had begun from Unirock circles and everything about how I'm defending Nat and I'm guilty of doing this, or I'm just as guilty as she is, and yada yada. And I'm like, what the fuck? And then shortly after that campaign was hurled at me, she did this video. And she says that. And I thought, you motherfucker, you're taking these images that you are depicting as so horrible for you having received, and then trying to use it against me as how fucked up am I for seemingly defending Natalie. Like, all right. Like, you know, nothing that Katie's ever said or done to me, about me, or anything have I ever took personally. That I took a little personally. So, yeah. Just want to explain that.
I don't want that kind of content out there about my son. And that's why I'm a mama bear. I'm not going to stand by and let that happen. If you do that to my kid, I'm going to find out who you are, and we're going to figure this out. And
she's gonna so defend her kid. She's so worried about that content. She's gonna find out who you are and take action. That she was up on panel with the person she's blaming for having done this. You know, just like 11 months prior, she was up on panel with her, defending her even. No new information had been found between then and this video here. Yeah. In fact, she's so determined to find out the real culprits, the people who are to blame for it, that she decided to use this situation as a weapon against the people who's pissed her off through the years. She's blamed it on Steve. She's blamed it on Tina. She's blamed it on, well, she didn't directly blame it on me, it sounds like, but yeah. Mm-hmm. That's how much of a mom and bear she is. Yeah, where's the investigation now?
Doing that. I'll probably never get the people that don't like me already don't like me. I just don't wish this on anyone. And if you were hurt by her, I feel for you. I'm sorry. What she did was horrible.
Right here.
What she's done to my life and what she's done to me has been terrible. I mean, there was people that hate me so much that defended her and said that I was making this about me. And I'm like, I was the primary target here. It all started with her hatred for me. I know there's other people that she's probably done this before me, but when it comes to this group of people, it was me that she targeted. It was me that she wanted to go after. It was me that she wanted to destroy. And then all these other people got hurt too. And Michael's kid got hurt. Michael's family got hurt. His law practice got hurt. Like, that's not acceptable. The rest of the channels, like, people are always like, well, what about this person that's always talking about you? You guys, I don't care. Let them talk. I don't even watch their content. Like, we have a literal rule in our house. Like, we don't watch the negative stuff about me. We don't engage in it, and it makes our life happier. You know, we don't deal with it. And if things come up and these people provoke someone to sue me, we deal with it legally. I mean, these people egg people on to sue me. They've egged people on to start class action lawsuits against me by giving them false information about me. It's crazy. So why are you always getting sued? Partly because Natalie Kennett inserts herself, spreads lies about me, and makes people that are already on the verge think that they have a case because she convinces them I'm a bad person, and then she has a group of enablers that help her because they want me to get sued as well. And I've thankfully had one of those cases dissolved and settled, and Michael has learned, and Tatty, that I'm not the bad person that Natalie told them I was, and we hope to resolve the other issues the same way.
That is crazy.
For that, if you have ever been on the...
That is crazy. Natalie has learned, or not Natalie, Michael has learned through Tatty or whatever, that I'm not the bad person that Natalie convinced them I was, or whatever she said. It was months into the lawsuit before Michael even fucking knew who Natalie was. What are you talking about? You're crazy. Fucking crazy. Sorry. I'm just checking over chat here real quick. Yeah, it looks like before I even started talking, explaining the whole situation, people are like, and then here in the chat, she's talking about you. Yep. Oh, thank you, Autistic Shill. Super chats for Puppy Cam. Yay, thank you. And Veda, thank you so much for the super chat. Aaron, check Messenger. I did check it. Like I said, just to, I'll go ahead and show them. I just, my questions I have is, I'm a little, I just want to clarify, like, which ones are screenshots she took, which ones are ones you took, and I just like to clarify shit like that, that's all. What is this? She looks like Slappy from Goosebumps. I don't know who that is. All right, I'm going to let this play out for the next minute, and while I download those images quick.
The receiving end of anything like this, just know that you're not alone. The best advice I can give is try not to fuel the fire. Try not to give it too much attention. Try not to make them excited. Like, I will say this, the more I talked about it, the more amplified she got. The more I shared of things that she did, the more excited she got because she got attention for it. Every time she did something to me that she can inflict pain on me and I responded, she rejoiced in that. And she rejoiced in the attention that she got from the haters that hated me, that were making videos about me. And she got off on that, on hurting people and hurting me. So the case is ongoing. She was arrested yesterday.
Vita, I got something else I want to send you. Too.
Contact Natalie.
Shit, I can't believe I never thought of that before.
And to those of you that believed me and knew that I was not the one doing these things, thank you. To those of you that didn't believe me and believed her, I hope you can come around and realize that it wasn't me and that it was her. And I hope you realize that just because you don't like me doesn't mean that I'm guilty of things that I didn't do. You can just like find a rational reason not to like me rather than creating reasons. Like, I don't like Josh Duggar because of his, you know, he downloaded CSAM and hurt his sisters. Like, that's a valid reason not to like someone. Not liking someone because a lady on the internet said that she's her best friend and that her husband's doing things to her and there's no evidence, that's not really a reason not to like someone. Like, there's valid reasons not to like Josh Duggar. There's valid reasons not to like cults that abuse women.
Did you catch that? Valid reasons not to like Josh Duggar, CSAM. Valid reasons not to like cults that abuse women, cults that abuse women. There's valid reasons to not like me, too. This is not a valid reason. Just find a valid reason like those two. Like, oh my God. Like, do you not even realize what you just fucking said? Oh my God. Like, find a valid reason to dislike me, much like I found a valid reason to not like Josh Duggar. Just dislike me for the same thing.
But me just existing on the internet, if that annoys you, I'm sorry. I'm not going away. Natalie couldn't make me go away, and if I can get through Natalie, I can get through anything. I want to thank all of you guys who took the time to watch this, who have supported me, who have not engaged in this kind of behavior. I would encourage my audience to not engage in this kind of pattern of behavior and just be super careful about who you communicate with online. Don't give out too much information. Don't share personal details with people that you don't know. Don't give them any details about your life that they can use against you. And don't trust people that easily. There's a lot of people online that want to do things, bad things to people. And like we have to tell our kids, you have to be careful of strangers. You have to be careful as strangers as an adult too. And if you develop any size following, and I'm by no means a large creator, but any size following on this platform, you have to be careful. So
okay,
don't get mad at me.
That's about the end of that. All right. So Veda sent me a few screenshots here. Go to what I got over here. I'm presenting. All right. So close that out. Image. I should just share the screen, but it's, I don't know if I want to do that. All right, here we are. All right, I'll show these real quick and then I gotta sign off. Okay.
Messenger audio.
Hello? Hello? I'm getting, it sounds, hello? Okay, try again. Oh, well, never mind. I just saw it. Hello? All right. Hello? Yeah, I just saw that. Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna, okay, bye. All right. All right, I'm gonna hold off on that. Okay. I want to, there's a couple of questions I want to ask on that. I just want to hold off on that. So I want to, where am I? Just me. Okay. So there you have it. These are the main live streams videos that she did regarding the whole, Natalie Kennett situation. There's 2 other streams though that I'm not going to play today. But one of them I need to find, first of all. But there's a stream she did. It was only a few months ago, I think, like maybe last fall. She was tweeting about Natalie Kennett again last fall. And she was saying how there's a new investigation. She spoke to the detective or whatever in the UK, and he's opened up a new investigation, and he's added her on as listed victim. She had to send all of her information, everything over to the UK to this investigator. So she says this in a stream too, and I want to find that. I can't find that one though. And there's one other one that I think is important, but it's a longer one, so we're going to save that one. I know I'm almost done. Thank you. But it's shit, is that it? Do I have it here? I had it pulled up though, just in case, but we'll do it another time. Okay. It's called Stalkers Try to Frame My Husband of Horrible Offenses. Now we're taking legal action. And this was from, I think, 2020. Yes, 2021. I don't remember which month, but I'll find out. But here's where she like kind of lays out exactly the whole plan between Steve, Tina, everyone else. She has person A, person B, person C, the whole thing. That I want to play next time. But for now, I'm going to wrap this up because I have some shit to do. I've been on for way too long. I think the dog needs to be walked. So, yeah, I'm going to wrap it up. Is Kate a cult then? Yeah, maybe. I think so. I'll go for 30 more minutes. I got to drive to work. I would, but I'm already getting the evil look, so I better not. I'm sorry. I'll make it up to you next time. All right, so yeah, on that note, thanks for being here. I hope this was entertaining. I'm going to continue discussing this, though, because, like I said, hindsight, I already found 2 things that I'm going to go and I'm going to immediately look more into, because one of them, I think, is a big thing. I love